jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A-Side Official. You already know the first in the building. Mike is on deck. Salute to you. What's good? TBA Boxing Talk is in the building. WCS, salute my God. Salute to the chat. Definitely make sure you go over there and subscribe and support. You know what I'm saying? One of the GOATs on the YTC. You know what I'm saying? TBA Boxing Talk. Be sure to support. You know what I'm saying? And listen to his content. Stickin' Boys Fishing and Sports is on deck. What's good? Arnold Brown, I see you on deck. So this is Hot Grease Chronicles EP 313, year 2024, over. And this is like a two-part situation. You know what I'm saying? Two-part topic. We're going to get to the boxing update. With Fundora forced to vacate the WBO title. And amongst other things that's coming down from the NSAC. Also, Crawford set to fight for the WBO opponent. The WBO title opponent to be determined, to be announced. Now, as you probably already heard, information just came out like always. Everybody has their own avenue of approach on how they want to go with this. The fact is that what they wanted is only inside the scope of what they wanted. It's not like they had influence to make it happen. It's only what they wanted. They wanted so much. They wanted, Spence to fight Fundora. They wanted Fundora to fight Spence. They wanted Zoo to be able to fight Crawford. You know what I'm saying? They thought Zoo would be able to fight Spence. What they did was just confuse themselves and a lot of other people that actually tune in and listen to boxing media. Ultimately, when it comes down to what happened that night, I want to get into the wickets about how Tim Zoo, his team, they got him there, but they didn't keep him there. And Jennings was on the Boxing Voice, and shout out to the Boxing Voice for the interviews they had with both sides. Jennings was on there, and he had so much to say about what Zoo rates and everything else. They might have not been paying attention to the present. They might have been looking at the forecast. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they was trying to prognosticate the future and how far Tim Tszyu was gonna go with the belt, you know. But he didn't win that fight. Not only that, it was some poor decisions to keep him in the ring when he could have retained his belt from an accidental clash of, you know, head to elbow or whatever, and lived to fight another day. But now he's out of a title. Not only that, he could have kept his title and then came back healthier, right? And probably had different results potentially. You know what I'm saying? But first, let me get to the situation. It's funny that IO is on here because this is the first part. Is this live stream is a question that was asked to me, which I've spoken on previously, but it just out of nowhere was asked to the panel the other night. And it's a big deal because a lot of people say, well, when it comes to boxing, these channels support who they want to support, and they rally for who they want to rally for. Everybody's energy is different. Everybody has different temperament. You know, some people are rah and they're very passionate about supporting their fighter. But the question was proposed, not verbatim, right? The question was proposed about I'm just gonna say me supporting Terrence Crawford the way I do, and he pretty much he doesn't acknowledge those channels who ride hard for him, right? You know what I'm saying? He will respond to negativity, and though anybody who follow my channel know that I did a live stream on that shit. I did a live stream before on how Crawford responds to people who's being negative. He would carry on a conversation and give you energy for those who are coming at him in a negative light. And it was a good question, because my take on it and the way my mentality is that I just don't look for people to do what they supposed to all the time. Like, I start them off at 100%. I ain't gonna lie, some of them I start off with 10%, and that's the honor system. You know what I'm saying? I understand boxing, these cats get hit in the head, and everybody got personality. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own personality, and it's not always gonna be in the favor of someone that's receiving or judging you, or, you know, assessing how you act. I look at these boxers like Crawford, and I don't know too much about him except what's already out there. But I thought the question was a solid question. That's why I got media up here, because he was always criticized for not doing media. He didn't want to talk to the media. And I get it, bro. You know, that's how he is. You know, that's how he is. I'm not talking for him. I'm just talking about what's general knowledge. He didn't want to do the media first half of his career, and they always speak on how it hurt him. It hindered his progress, his advancement as a fighter. All right. It hindered him possibly, you know, the way Bob Arum say he wasn't attending media obligations the way he's supposed to. And I totally understand. I get it. You know, he didn't want to deal with the media. He didn't feel no trust or loyalty in the media. I get it. But for me as a content creator, I voluntarily choose to, you know what I'm saying, support these fighters regardless of what depth I choose to do it. I'm doing it voluntarily, right? And to some people, depending on how long they've been living or where they've been in life or who they've dealt with during their journey in life, they may take it different. They may say, man, F him, man. He don't want to say nothing to me. I rock hard for him. Yeah, naturally. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, you would say, man, you know how much I support you. You know how much I go in. You know how much time I've spent, hours, you know, debating people and saying you're the best. You can't show no love. You can't respond to one tweet. You know what I'm saying? It's people out there that say that. But I'm going to be honest. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I respect Crawford as a fighter. He's never allowed the door to be ajar for me and him to have a more personal relationship as far as being cool. You know, he's never disrespected me. You know, he did give me an interview. I've got several pictures with him But I've been all around the world, man, and my attitude's been the same since I've been out there. I don't roll with a lot of cats. I don't need attention to get me going in the morning. I really don't need nobody boosting me. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to Crawford, yeah, I rock for the Deontay Wilder hard too. I done took mad criticism for him. I've been to his fight camp, but I don't care if he doesn't shout me out, man. I don't care if Crawford don't shout me out or show me love like he show other people love. My personality don't come off like that. Like I don't have a hallmark personality, y'all. Real talk. I do my shit talking on here, cool. You know what I'm saying? People that know me, whatever. But I'm not really a outgoing person, you know, in public. So I don't expect Crawford to come to me and say, "Hey, man, I see what you're doing out there. I appreciate you." I mean, it would be cool. It'd be cool. But I thought it was a very solid question, man, because it dealt with media. And you have people who support different fighters in this community, this social media community, right? And some of them, their drive now is just to get a response. You know what I'm saying? To talk, and defame and be derogatory and drop all these aspersions towards Crawford just to get him to respond. I'm not jealous of that shit. Like I responded when he responded to Fanon, right? He said your mother should have swallowed you and stuff like that. It was laughable to me, but I didn't get mad because he would respond to somebody who's dogging him out and you know, deriving lies on him every single day. He'll finally respond for that person to say, "Oh man, no, blessings, man. I wish the best. You know, I wish the best for you." To me, man, it's not the first time someone's asked me that question, not so much about Crawford, but more so Deontay Wilder. And I say, man, I'm good from the outside looking in, man. And this is why I'm going to tell y'all that. I volunteer my time and energy in this boxing game. You know what I'm saying? We rock hard for whatever fighter we select to do so. That's our choice, right? But if I was to basically open myself up to one of these fighters and get comfortable enough for me to trust them, right? And then I get stabbed in the back, then the only person I'm blaming is myself for not going off my first instinct. My natural instinct is to be who I am. But if I was to trust somebody and they allow me into their personal space and get comfortable, I know what level of status quo they have in the boxing game. I understand it. I know who they are. So if I see them in person, I'm not being stuck up. If I was breaking bread with them and I knew them personally, it'll take me a good little bit to get really comfortable with that person. Like they might invite me somewhere. If it's boxing related, cool. But if it's somewhere that's leisure, I probably won't go all the time because I just don't want to. Look, I'm going to tell you the reason why I wouldn't accept all the time, because it's usually not the person that's inviting you. And like, for instance, what happened to me with Wilder, it's usually not the person that's inviting you. It's the people that's around them. My level of trust for Wilder or Bud Crawford, I will have to have that connection with them, that I trust them to make the right decision. If I don't think the perimeter is strong enough for those who are around him to start seeing, oh man, him and WCS is cool. Let me say some bullshit to him. Let me cut this off right now. You know what I'm saying? Let me cut this off right now. It's usually the people that's around them on a regular basis that don't want this situation to happen. And I've been through that before. I've been through that with Wilder. I did. And it's not that I went against my better judgment, because I stuck to my guns. Just I did. But it's just what was actually going on and the media footage I was getting, the work I had to put in to even get the approval and this, that, and the other, only to have, people start to give me the Heisman all because of something that happened to them. Nothing happened to Wilder, But they expect you to kiss their ass because they've been around him longer than you. So you have ulterior situations going on that has nothing to do with the fighter himself. And then they start talking and making up shit. That's why I don't really feel no type of way in life, because, I'm here. I've dealt pretty good with having a circle. I'm not stuck up. I'm not antisocial. I'm just saying, you got to be able to manage your own safeguard in this business. You feel me? So if you want to try to sit up here and keep on, ooh, here I go, Crawford, please acknowledge me. Then what kind of man is you, man? What kind of man is you? You're supposed to be able to amplify your own confidence. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be able to generate that energy. You're supposed to be a self-generated man in life. Yeah, this boxing media shit's supposed to be fun. But a lot of these fighters that I rock with hard, just like for Teofimo, I had one of the best media coverage ever with Teofimo back in the day, okay, right? But I never expected it to be long term. I was enjoying the moment for what I got, and that was cool. But the ones who understand how I am and what and my personality, my trust and honesty, and you know what I'm saying, my character in general, they'll know who I am. But if you want me to feel some type of way about Crawford, me rocking with him heavy, but him never acknowledging any of my tweet or anything I do, it don't bother me one bit. Now, it has been a time, like, I have said, like, just like I did on live, I say, damn, you really give these assholes attention. They don't give a fuck about you. You rather give them attention. But you just ignore everybody that's really giving you the positive energy that you look for. Cause look, I also said Crawford get on stage and say how he always had to prove himself in life. But yet you got people proving, you got people that's rocking with you heavy that, you're talking about you had to prove that you was this, that, and the other, but it's people out here to see where you at right now. They're praising you for being who you are right now and the type of fighter you are. But ultimately, he enjoys entertaining the negativity. I'm not his dad, but I know I'm a grown ass nigga though. And I can give a fuck whether Crawford give me that personal attention or not. I do not care. Now, when I see him in passing, he's never disrespected me. I never disrespected him. I never been on some bullshit talking about, oh man, you don't give me enough attention, F him and all that. He'll give me a picture and he won't say hardly 2 words, but you know what? He's did that to other people too. So it ain't just me, goddammit. It ain't just me. But ultimately, I thought the question was a great question in general, because it deals with a lot of content creators that's on here and how we go through supporting a fighter heavy. I know at one point in time, IO supported Spence heavy, and that's what they knew him for, and his shit was jumping, and he had the shit on lock. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was like, oh man, you want to talk about Spence, because Spence was super popular, and the one that had the energy and the volcano lava flowing over there in Texas was media coming from TBA. So, I don't think nobody had to ask him that, because it was times where Arrow actually, took up and defended him. You know what I'm saying? It was some moments where people were saying, but Arrow was rocking out with him. But for me and the fighter I rock hard, the fighters I rock hard with, they never really did shit to disrespect me, but they never basically shouted me out voluntarily or just showed me, pay homage or whatever and say, hey, I see what you're going on out there. You know what I'm saying? Just doing that natural, recognition type stuff. Like, yeah, I appreciate what you're doing. I hear what you're doing. I seen your content, this, that, and the other, But to answer that question, man, I really don't even think nothing of it. I can give a fuck, man. Real talk. I don't ever want anyone to think that I'm like some of these other cats where I gotta be acknowledged. You feel me? Like I have to be acknowledged to support Crawford. Now, would it be cool for him to pop up on my chat or to pop up? Of course. Of course, man. Of course that shit would be cool. But I'm not going to be in his DMs constantly asking and asking and asking. I did that. I wasn't in his DMs, but I went to his team to try to request. If that's not who he is and he don't want to interview with me, fine. I'm cool with it. But you have to be willing to support a fighter and expect him not to give you the same energy in return. That's all I'm saying. It don't affect how I rock out with a fighter because I don't have no connection with him. You know, a personal connection. I have a boxing connection. I have a accolade. I have a data collection, a connection with him. What I know about you on the outside, that's the connection that I have to speak about your achievements and what I think of you as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Your level, you know what I'm saying? Your level for which you've been able to climb that ladder and sit upon the throne. You know, I talk about achievements. I talk about fighters that's came up. That's my connection. I don't need no personal shit. I'm, you know, real talk. I'll be quite. It'll take me a long time to get into trust, a bond of trust with someone that's on that level, and I always know it's always gonna be somebody around them that fuck it up. That's how I feel. But shout out to IO, man. You know, that's why I had the Hot Grease Chronicles. You know, I put at media because Crawford, he never was really outgoing. You know, he really wasn't that talkative, a garrulous individual, a garrulous fighter coming up through the ranks, and he wanted to give media that time and attention. He never was that person. You know what I'm saying? I can see if Crawford was giving everybody around me interviews and shit. And you know, another thing that was said, I know IO mentioned that he's going on the, you know, he'd give these other people time and this, that, and the other that didn't really fuck with him before and don't really know anything except him being a fighter. And they came close to, you know, putting in the amount of hours that some of these channels do on the YTC, but he goes over there. Hey, it's probably a PR thing. You know, these fighters get to a certain level where you have to understand they fighting under the bright lights, y'all. Like, they are truly celebrities in their own right. Some people might shut it down and say, man, he ain't no celebrity, man. He this, he ain't so no. He is, man. Just like a lot of these fighters. These fighters are fighting on national television, man. So when they get to a certain point, you know, they're gonna have you go through their PR team. If you cool with them, and look, check this out. It's nobody on here that would ever say that WCS tried to get a fighter, was begging and pleading with a fighter and saying I was a vet. I was a veteran. You don't support veterans? See, I don't have to tell you that. If you ain't willing to fuck with me just from being a regular dude, then why would I put my veteran status on here that don't have nothing to do with you? It don't have nothing to do with me. That's my earnings. That's what I did. That's what I served. If they still don't want to fuck with me, knowing that I'm a veteran and I serve my country, then my first instinct keeps me safe, goddammit. It keeps me safe because I keep the boundaries up. I'm not going to allow myself to get immersed into believing that someone's going to naturally do for me. I got to do for myself. I'm not going to say, ooh, I was an officer in the military. Please show me attention. You don't like vets? You don't like vets, huh? We didn't do enough for you, huh? I heard every day. You don't care? No, that's not me. But I did think the question was relevant. I think it's a question that if the panel was bigger, you know what I'm saying, and other people was over there to speak on the fighters that they support heavy, I think that's a legitimate question, real talk. I think it was absolutely a relevant question because there's so many channels on here support they fighters that they rock heavy with. But it is the question where some of those fighters do come on the panel of these individuals and fuck with them, right? Not everybody has the standoffish, don't want to entertain, everybody's don't have that mentality as Crawford does and many other fighters. Some of them come over here to the YTC and some of them don't. But I can tell you this, some of them that comes over to the YTC, I don't know why you even put yourself in the position that you in to visit that particular channel or channels when they always have people on there disrespecting y'all. So I'm putting the puzzle pieces together. I say it's probably smart for some of these fighters to stay away, but also it's up to you to judge the character. If you know there's a channel out there rocking with your heart and they have great character, you can't group them into everybody else that's inviting these fighters over here and it's disrespect going on. These fighters talking to them all reckless like they boxers. Anyway, let me transfer off of that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Carlos in the building. You know what I'm saying? Bud Gonna Stop Canelo in the building. What's good? What's good? Miguel on deck. But great live the other day. You know what I'm saying? Let's get down to the current events at hand, right? So you all understand that the fight went down between Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu. We know that. And we know that Sebastian Fundora was coming off a knockout, and that would pretty much that would be the score of his only loss on his box rec from Brian Mendoza, and it was a brutal knockout, right? I kind of said this on my live that shit they allowed Fundora to be in a position he was and kept feeding him everybody except Jermell Charlo. Then he ended up getting knocked out. So what they do? They bring him back once Jermell Charlo crashed out and became a part of the boxing Olympic track team 4x1200 relay. The title started to come off. They put him in recess to the WBC. They had already stripped him for the Tim Tszyu once he stepped in there with Canelo, and then vacated the IBF, and that WBA came off, right? So Tim Tszyu undefeated. He did what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? He beat the names he had to beat. For real, he beat the names he had to beat. And I talk about this, like Mendoza was the guy who beat Fundora, but he lost to Tszyu. And then the crazy part, they bring Fundora back. Like, how do you even balance that? You know what I'm saying? How do you even balance that? Mendoza get the shot at the champ, right? He loses. But who Mendoza beat that was in the main event was Fundora. They send him up there to get a shot because he was supposed to fight for the vacant WBC title. That's how they be doing them juggling acts in boxing, right? So anyway, it's so much information that's out there that Team Tszyu failed him. Jenny was up there talking about all this shit about Crawford, but yet maybe they shouldn't have took the Fundora fight. Maybe they had confidence in Tszyu that he would be going in and fight Fundora and beat him. But also when it came down to his corner and when that cut happened, yes, that cut played a major role in influencing the way that fight materialized. And it was a bad cut too. All they had to do was call the fight. That wouldn't have depleted, any type of warrior spirit or what people thought about Tszyu if he would have quit from that damn cut. That was a bad cut. I mean, when you in there with Mr. Bamboo Stick himself, you bound to get cut. What did I say? It's skin on bones, man. How many people do you know have been cut and Fundora didn't even throw the elbow like Tyson did on Ngannou? Tim Tszyu ran into the freaking saw blade, man. Got cut and could have called a fight in under 4 rounds. It would have been an NC and they would have came back for another day. Now, Tim Tszyu is out. He's suspended. And Fundora suspended. let's go and take a gander at the ruling. All right. You know, and they was jumping up and down, just having a good old time, and not really understanding there's other collateral variables that goes into this. You know what I'm saying? This boxing game. Not because the YTC just want to go up here and say, oh, good, he jumped the line. Ooh, whoopity doo. Well, you know what I'm saying? That's just not the way it happens, people. You know, not in this case. You can jump up for joy all you want. Let's talk about this. Commission ruling will sideline Sebastian Fundora until late September. All right. NSAC informed the new WBO and WBC junior middleweight title holder Sebastian Fundora on Tuesday is physically suspended from fighting until late September. Fundora, 21-1, 13 knockouts, suffered a broken nose during the first round of the surprise split decision victory over unbeaten WBO title holder Tim Tszyu. All right. Immediately after Fundora upset, the WBO informed his team that the fighter would be allowed until April 25th to negotiate a title defense against mandatory super challenger Terrence Bud Crawford, 40-0, 31 knockouts, the recent undisputed welterweight champion. As part of the order, Fundora would be required to defend against Crawford within 6 months of Saturday fight with Tszyu. 6 months, y'all. All right? So let's do the math. April. No. He has. You know, according to how they retroactive this. Let's do May, June, July, August, September. September puts him in 5 months. You know what I'm saying? So, you heard Samson when he was in the cloud. You know, the cloud of bullshit. He was saying that Fundora will return back in November. You know what I'm saying? But to September, we're looking at 5 months. But per this right here, he will be required to defend against Crawford within 6 months. That would be October. That would be a little bit shorter than what Samson was talking about. Either way it goes, it's hilarious. Let's go on. Nevada Commission, right? Decision obviously compromised the WBO order. All right. A boxing official told boxing until the conclusion of Nevada's suspension on September 27th. All right. And you know what's interesting about this is that witness the way the IBF did Crawford when certain people knew that he was locked into a contract. But reading this article right here, they say it compromises the WBO order, which Crawford being locked into a contract that Spence, activated his rematch clause last year. It compromised him moving on to bigger and better ventures and finding somebody else to fight, right? But it didn't care. It didn't matter because they still sent it out knowing that he was locked into a contract. So when you look at this right here, yeah, it may compromise the WBO order on when Fundora has to fight Crawford in 6 months. So this is boxing. This is the system of boxing. NSAC, they're not going to tell the WBO what to do. The WBO is going to do what it does. Under those terms, Fundora isn't likely to fight again until December. Imagine that. Until December. But it helps when you do things the right way. When you layer the rungs on the ladder correctly and you're able to climb, you know what I'm saying, to that next level the right way. And that's what Crawford did, activating his super to be able to contend at 154 pounds. At that time, we believed that he was going to be the one to step in there with Tim Tszyu. It didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Tszyu fought Fundora first. He lost. And now Team Fundora wants to honor. They want to honor a verbal contract agreement, y'all. They want to honor. There's nothing wrong with honor. You know, but some of this honor, when you add droplets of shit to it, it becomes bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have the option, on what route you want to take. But look, being that they had that particular fight, and people criticizing Tim Tszú's corner for keeping him in there too long, now both fighters are suspended. They both suspended, y'all. Then the Nevada Commission decision also throws into chaos plans of other possible opponents, including Tszú and former welterweight champion Errol Spence, each of whom expressed interest in fighting Fundora. So this makes it even a bit more hilarious in my sobriety. I made up that word. That means I'm not drinking at the time, any alcoholic beverage, but it still tickled my tummy when I hear that Fundora not coming back this December. To all those arrow fanatics, he won't be able to fight Tim Tszú anytime soon, man. And y'all was talking about him jumping the line, but I'm pretty sure Crawford can go ahead and pick up that WBO title, which will more than likely happen, because it doesn't matter if you got injured, if you can't make it happen, if you can't meet the requirements from the WBO sanctioning body, you're gonna have to come off that title. Now, I don't know if there's any loopholes in there because, so-and-so has an injury, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Anybody can extend the injury out so they won't have to fight. Let me go into my mental Rolodex. Kell Brook? What? I remember Kell Brook dropping down from 160 to 147, and they was requesting an extension, and that extension was denied by Team Spence, knowing that he had took punishment up there in the middleweight division. They went on and fought. If he wouldn't have fought Spence, he would have been stripped, regardless of the damage that he received fighting Gennady Golovkin. So if Fundora knows is in repair, you know what I'm saying, and he won't be able to fight until December. We have seen sanctioning bodies allow fighters to just keep titles forever and a day, aka Jamal Charlo, you know what I'm saying, aka Errol Spence, aka Jamel Charlo, and many others. But in this particular case, for what I'm hearing, is that WBO title, Fundora, if he's not able to meet this April 25th date, the title will be vacated, and Crawford will be able to go out here and face an opponent to be announced, which brings music, glorious music to my MFing ears. You know what I'm saying? That's all through boxing scene. Shout out the boxing scene. They pretty much gave us an update, a ruling. And unfortunately, right, people are going to say, what do you expect him to do? He's injured. First of all, it's boxing. Second of all, Crawford, once again, is doing solid business. He earned his status and his position at the welterweight division. He's still the unified, and he's still the undisputed, because he never lost that IBF. It was what you call the word. What's the word? It was what they call it on thievery. It was stripped and stolen from him, but he's still the undisputed named champion down there at 147. So I'm pretty sure the WBO is gonna allow this belt to be vacated or stripped from Fundora, and then Crawford can go on about his merry way until 2025. That's probably when they're gonna fight, unless they have a fight in December. By that time, Spence will probably have to start cutting weight from around 235. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how Spence get during the holidays, y'all. I'm not trying to be a bearer of Spence news, but I'm telling the truth now. He loved the holidays. He go out down that farm and he grab them big ass turkeys and take them to the slaughter. You know what I'm saying? He go to the fishing dock, the wharf, and buy them crab leg, man. Hey, He about to goddamn pack it on for the upcoming winter. He about to pack it on. Fundora ain't gonna be back to December. He ain't gonna be back to December. Jeez. They can't keep that man out the ring that long. Man, hey, them aerosexuals better put that man on the clock. They always do Crawford that way. So let's do this again. August, September, October, November, December. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So you telling me Spencer's going to be out for 17, possibly 18, 19 months heading into 2025? For jumping the line? Huh? You know what? Y'all need to slap yourself with motherfucking cactus and going on a goddamn victory parade before you actually won. Sebastian Fundora has to vacate the WBO title as his team has said Zoo would not be ready to fight until the fall, allowing Fundora to return by the summer against Errol Spence. Not Crawford, and the WBC was sanctioned the fight even though Spence is not ranked in the super welterweight division. Now, when I read that Spence wasn't ranked in the super welterweight division, that's information I already was aware of. But you know, when it comes to boxing, we've seen fighters get finessed, you know what I'm saying, massaged into these positions to make a fight happen. We've seen that happen. That's no big deal. We've seen it. But in this particular case, Spence is coming off a horrendous loss, and he has no belts to activate anything. So this has to do with the powers that be that's able to get him in that position. So if y'all want to cheer for him not being ranked and possibly having an opportunity to face Fundora, cool. But you also you might want to cheer him on to finding another trainer if indeed the information that's out there now is true, that him and Diddy James is not together, or they might still be together. But y'all might want to cheer him to leave to find someone that he respect enough to break him out that mold of his and switch up his fighting style if he's to fight Fundora next. That's all I'm saying. Because I'll be damned if I'm not going to go here and do a live on y'all again and drop some hot grease on y'all ass if he goes in here and with the same style and get beat up. This time I'm going to come bearing trophies. And you know what it's going to read at the bottom? The worst fan base ever. I'm not even going to put a year on it. The worst fan base ever. Y'all better cheer him into another coach's arms to teach him something different if he's to fight Fundora at the end of 2024. In the meanwhile, I'm looking forward to Terrence Crawford's next opponent. I'm looking forward to him continue to etch another layer to his legacy the right way. I don't care if his next opponent is Josh Kelly that's ranked. I don't care. I don't care nothing about that easy shit they talking. Oh man, nobody. I could care less, and you shouldn't care either, because we are not the ones that's up here brushing shoulders or sitting at the table when they vote these individuals in the ranking system, if that's even how it works. They don't call on us, so I don't care. It's been ranking systems that's jacked up all the time. Who cares? If he's the one that's up and Crawford gets to jump the line because he is the current reigning defending undisputed welterweight world champion, then so be it. Who's next? Y'all want to talk about line jumping, right? Well, you know, Josh Kelly, he's the next in line. If y'all want to talk about line, if y'all want to talk about lines, Spence say he don't do lines, but I said he do routes. Let's see what route he take in this particular fight. Let's see, can he stay in shape? Let's see if Fundora is able to come back from this nose injury. And we hear the fight being announced that Fundora Spence will take place at this time in 2024. Let's see. I'm not rooting for that fight not to happen. I'm not. Either way it goes, it's going to be a punishing fight. I hear people hitting me in the DMs talking about, hey man, you underestimating, Spence got power. He catches Fundora. He catches Fundora. Yeah. I heard that. I heard that shit before. Yeah, he can catch him. He can, absolutely. He's going to catch him at the weigh-ins. He's going to catch him at the press conference. He's going to catch him, for real. But also, he has to make that appointment on fight night for, and walk to the ring. And this time, I hope to God that his eyes look different, because I ain't never seen a bunch of fans bitch so much to my, he drugged. What's wrong with his eyes? Somebody get some milk. Get some Visine. I'm like, what the fuck? Hey, we here now at 54, man. You know what I'm saying? We here. We on the clock. They love putting Crawford on the clock. Put him on the clock now for that April 25th date and see what happened with that WBO title. Go ahead. Put him on the clock. TikTok. Put Spence on the clock too, man. Spence and Fundora. Put him on the clock. Because y'all was cheering like the fight was about to happen. But more than likely, Crawford will be stepping in the ring before Fundora even come back off suspension. He'll probably step in the ring before Fundora returns from suspension. And this is all going down because Zoo, he won't be back till late. Let's do a little soul searching here. Let me look this up right quick. So I was waiting on them to register the suspension on Tim Tszyu on BoxRec. You know what I'm saying? They have not submitted that information via BoxRec yet. So it can become a part of one of my live streams that these two individuals are suspended, and that bleeds over to Errol Spence's next fight, but not so much when it comes to Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Crawford is in a whole nother lane, and his earnings at the welterweight division allows him to not jump the line. It allows him to get that VIP concierge service, which he earned at 147 to move up to 154, and you can't do shit about it. You feel me? So don't be mad at me, okay? Let me get to the chat. Let me get to the chat and see what they pop. Bill's Boot Camp on deck. What's good? What's good? Salute WCS in the chat. Shout out to you, Miguel. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Mr. International Toby Bartlett in the building. Salute WCS in the hottest chat on the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. It's better to be global than just local, man. What's going on, Justin in the building? Salute to you. Anthony in the building. PBC BS is how they do it. Hey, man. Just give them the benefit of the doubt, man. Somebody over there running that train, man. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody had the same station. Not everybody get dropped off at the same station. But goddamn it, you cannot convince me that a group of aerosexuals was conversating in the middle of the train tracks, and when that news broke, all of them became casualties, as always. All of them became casualties. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to get the reality. They wanted to get real life reality. They wanted to sit up here and cheer for something without knowing all the information first. They was just happy that Spence was on TV once again. He was out of hibernation. You know what I'm saying? He brushed off the straw. You know what I'm saying? Wiped his mouth for the drool and came out and showed his face in public, and his fans went crazy for a split second. Then smiles turned to frowns, y'all. Because now they're hearing this information about Fundora. They want to honor the rematch with Zoo. That broke their motherfucking heart. And then to hear Fundora, if Zoo's not going to be back, they smiled again, only to be broken down again, knowing that Fundora's not splitting the ropes until the end of the fucking year. So that means Spencer's going to be out over a year and a half. They're so distraught. Shout out to the General Big Fish in the building. Salute to you, man. What's good? Jessica, the queen, is on deck. What's good with you, Jessica? Salute. And salute to all the new faces that's over here too, man. For the first time, I appreciate y'all supporting the channel. The Go Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. Salute. MD Mills in the building. I see you. Shit, Bud don't even go on Cam and them show. He don't go on Bernie's show. And see, I didn't bring that up. I know that, MD, but I don't really bring other people into my argument on why my actions are what they are. I get it. You're right. They don't. And see, that just goes to prove my point that I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of others that's right there in his backyard. I mean, he barely go on Bernie's show, but I don't care. That's Bernie. Bernie known him since he was 7 years old. He has other, personal experiences with him. As a man, I just don't care that he's not giving me, any extra attention for me voluntarily supporting him like this. I mean, I'm not carrying the spit bucket. So we just had another PBC fighter not too long ago play all kinds of games with the belts with Jamel Charlo. The WBO tried to accommodate him and he shitted on them. Now this, hey. Come on, man. You've been around the game, MD. You've been around the game. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We can't really get on the Charlos. I can't really mention Jamel Charlo, one of the biggest whiners who supposedly just had a seizure. And I hope he's okay. You know what I'm saying? I hope he's okay. I don't know. I haven't heard too much about it. Nobody has really spoken on it, but they say he had a seizure. I don't know what type of seizure it was. I don't know what caused it. I don't know if it was an anger seizure. I don't know if it was a seizure from him running around the ring and he blew out a knee. And the medication he's using to heal from it, it was ill effect from it, side effect. I don't fucking know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was an asshole seizure, you know what I'm saying, on the way he act. I don't know. I don't know if it was him, you know what I'm saying, being the rich guy he is. I don't know what type of seizure it is. I haven't put too much thought in caring or giving a damn. The WBA is in a bad position because if they strip him, the WBO rather, is in a bad position because they strip him anyway. They look bad. Well, if it comes to boxing, has boxing really gave a damn about how it looks? You're talking about a system. That's the sport drives itself off the system. You would think boxing, as long as it's been around, it'll be some type of conformity. It's no conformity, man. Everybody does shit different. From the top tier, mid tier to the low tier when it comes to promoters, managers, advisors, all that shit. Everybody have their own way of doing business. So it's never been really about the look. You're talking about a sport that is not regulated. And no one's trying to tighten those bolts to get that sport regulated. They just want to keep on going through the system and people get fucked over all the time. And some people have glory But some people get fucked over to the point where, they'll complain and bitch about it, but they don't do nothing to change it. They got to stay hush hush because they don't want to get blackballed. Boxing is tough, man. Miguel say high level corruption. I remember when I was talking about people, and talking about fixed fights, man, they act like they don't want to say anything about a fixed fight. Fixed fights happen. Nobody's not going to tell me Tony Weeks stopping the Barroso fight to allow Rolly. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Juice on deck in the building. What's good with the Juice? As soon as news broke, I watched Fernand's video. He was sad at them. He said Bud got to fight Boots. Listen, besides me being on the toilet, I really don't give a damn and taking a peek and thinking about shit. I don't, man. Turds. I just don't really give a damn about it unless I'm in the environment. Unless my stomach's okay, I got to go to the bathroom. That's the only time I give a damn about paying attention to turds, man. And even then, I flush without seeing it. But if you telling me to scroll through the YTC and pay attention to turds, then I got to check myself, bro. I got to say, what do you have going on? This is a person who's always trying to dictate what Bud do. It's crazy. A lot of these cats who was straight up Errol Spence, they wonder why Errol Spence don't show them no love because they busy talking about Bud all the fucking time. They infatuated, dog. Bud ain't going to want to fight for an interim title either. This will be interesting to see how they play it out. No, Bud ain't trying to fight for no interim title now. You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to do that. JD on deck. You're definitely right about that. MD, who cares? The IBF stripped Bud so fast. Plus, they was about to pull one over, talking about a verbal rematch when y'all just said the next fight was Spence. Hey, man. Somebody calm her down, man. She on fire, bro. Somebody get an extinguisher. Should be one under the sink. Yeah, they was talking about that verbal agreement. You didn't hear nothing about a verbal agreement before the fight, y'all. TBV was having these interviews, and it was nothing about a verbal agreement, y'all. So this is what I'm talking about boxing. Boxing is never going to try to hide. They're going to show you things so you can get conditioned to seeing them. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked when you see the corruption happen. Don't be shocked that people can come up here and talk about, we had a verbal agreement, and I will honor the verbal agreement. I will check with Yoda and Dark Vacate to verify the verbal agreement has a solid contractual agreement that we can move forward. Man, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Verbal agreement. They was there talking about, oh yeah, we haven't kept this a secret. We want Spence, Crawford, Canelo. And that was what Jennings said. And then you get Sampson. I didn't hear nothing about no verbal agreement till after the fight happened. All of a sudden, oh, we can do these numbers. The fans want to see that fight again. And this, that, and the other. No, we don't. Now, we would like to see Zoo and Fundora, but we also have some other challengers out here that the fight fans will want to see, like a Bud Crawford and an Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, we would like to see those fights take place for the championships. But let's look at protocol now. Just like they just said, they stripped Bud in the blink of an eye. So let's not get funny style when it comes to him taking a different route, a relevant route, a route that he's earned. We can't get mad because he's implementing that. We can't get mad. No way. I feel you, but the WBO has pretty solid guidelines for injured champions. They can go ahead and strip him, but it'll look weird. Hey, let's get about looking. Let's make it look weird. Then it can't look any more weird. than than everything else that we experienced in boxing. It can't look any more weird than that. If we are boxing aficionados, man, we done seen it and heard it. Not all of it, but it's a lot. It's a lot, man. We can't sit up here and feel no empathy for Sebastian Fundora because he got his bamboo nose broken. You know what I'm saying? Put some more meat on that nose. Get some collagen injections. Get some freaking silicone. Get some titanium injections or something. I mean, you 6'6", and your body fat is probably like 2.6%. That's doing Thanksgiving. From what I seen the other night, Spence would beat Fundora. Where you see that at? Did you have on some what type of? Did you check the prescription? What did you have on? Some mining goggles? Where you see that at? Were you wearing a helmet with a scratched up visor? Were you wearing a Pooh Shiesty mask backwards? Where did you see that at? I guarantee the WBO already know the BS the PBC is trying to attempt. They're going to give Bud his shot this summer. Yeah. I hope you spot on with that, man. That's what the word is, that they're going to come off this WBO. You know what I'm saying? I was weak. He was so sad compared to the video beforehand. And I have to take a little gander over there. I haven't really paid attention. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he's always coming up here, waving his left hand, spilling that coffee all over the table. Yeah, well, yeah. Shut up. Be coming up with them false ass titles and shit. He thought calling me a boy on IG pissed me off or something. He got so mad. Look, people gonna call you a name and then block you. They want to resort the boy. Call somebody a boy and block you so you can't respond. Oh boy. This is why I don't believe there's a press conference with both combatants. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, we definitely want the press conference. We definitely want the presser. But right now, the information that's out there, it's not like it's totally fabricated. Like it's not going to come to fruition. We knew Bud activated the WBO. That's active. That's no fake news. That's real talk. That's real. And one thing I would say, and not speaking for Team Crawford, is that he learned something. He had to learn something from doing business without a promotion when he went in there in 2022 and then revisit that in 23. Him and his team learned something. So, of course, they're going to approach this situation with etiquette and caution. Why not? They've learned, man. I'm with that, but shit against who? These dudes are clearly prepared to duck. I don't give a damn how it looks. They are prepared to duck. Crawford is the most duck fighter. You know what I'm saying? Even the man himself with cinnamon sprinkles on top of his head, Canelo, ducked. I haven't seen Josh Kelly since he got beat the hell up by David Avanesian. MD, why you want to bring up old news, man? We talking about the new. When Crawford fought Avanesian, Igor Cavalaxis already beat him in 6. That's why I said the fight wasn't going past 6 rounds. It happens. Just think about this, MD, if you're going to use that example of Josh Kelly and David Avanesian. Just think about it. Sebastian Fundora get a shot with Tim Tszyu, and he just was destroyed by Brian Mendoza, who Tim Tszyu just beat. It happens, bro. So do we take away, you know what I'm saying, what Brian Mendoza did to Sebastian Fundora? Do we take it away? Do you hear people up here saying that Sebastian Fundora, he's not a real champ? He was knocked out by Mendoza. He shouldn't get nothing but 20% versus Errol Spence or Crawford. Do you hear the language? Their language, Samson's language, is saying Crawford wants more than 50%. From Fundora, who just got off and exited Canvas University, bro. He's saying it would never happen. If he thinks he's no likable style, he's no likable style. I need to coin that. He's no likable style. His style comparable to Devin Haney. Nigga, are you on motherfucking Flocka, fentanyl, and some other shit at the same time? Some grass fertilizer? The fuck you talking about? No likable style. He on a multi-fight knockout streak and you talking about no likable style. Ew, you don't like the style because he's stopping his opponents just like your fighter was stopped? Did you say Mendoza had a no likable style when he knocked out Fundora? Come on, man. He said, Juice Lee, tell Mr. No Tune-Ups that Bud is ready. Says he's ready now. Man, something's got into Jessica, dog. I swear, man, shout out to the hottest chat in the game, man. Y'all are on some other stuff in 2024. I swear, y'all, man, I'm telling you, man. I guess y'all did learn something in 23 or something pissed y'all off because 2024 is been full of havoc. Straight up chaos, man. Y'all coming over here with flames coming out, man. Hopefully the WBC don't sit on their effing hands and start ordering some interim bouts in the meantime. I mean, I don't care if they order any interim. You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, Jamel Charlo is a champion in recess, to be honest. And then you already have some fighters that's about to fight for the WBC interim already at 154. You didn't hear about that fight? It's already a fight that's supposed to take place for the interim WBC title. Straight up. And I think it already happened, if I'm not mistaken. I think it already happened. Seriously. I think let me see. Let me fact check myself before I put that out there. I'll tell you right now. I think it just happened for the WBC interim title. Yep, I was right. Brian Mendoza just fought March 30th against Buhachuk for the WBC interim world super welterweight title, and he lost a unanimous decision. So Brian Mendoza just took 2 L's. You know what I'm saying? He lost to Tim Tszyu and Buhachuk. You know what I'm saying? And that was for the WBC interim. So Buhachuk is the WBC interim titleist right now at super welterweight. Just had to fact check myself. They stand away from a possible deep fryer, but you see no Spence fans is saying rematch. The Spence fans is not saying a lot right now for some apparent reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not responding to Sampson saying that Spence has agreed hastily to take 50%. You know what I'm saying? But we just experienced this just a couple of years ago that Crawford didn't qualify to even talk about 50% with Spence. But Spence is been said to be on record as agreeing to fight 50-50 for Fundora. 50-50. So do you think just because Fundora's, he's coming off suspension late this year, that's going to change? No. Because they used to the honor system, y'all. He said, we honor the verbal. Okay, so if the verbal was there for Fundora and Spence to do 50-50, then shit ain't going to change at the end of the year now. They're going to keep that 50-50. All I want to know is why the Pro Spence channels has not been on the bullhorn about this and voiced their discernment. You know what I'm saying? Voiced their anger that he is so willing to take 50% when he was talking about he was going to give Crawford anything if he keep talking. We'll give him 70-30, 80-20 if he keep on fucking talking. Yeah. You thought I forgot that. Crawford told that boy Spence, you lost. You got to work your way back up. Spence about to run it back with Danny at 160. Hey, man, I told him to go to 160 instead of 154. I told him, I said, it ain't too much going on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I would like to see Crawford go up there and freaking challenge 40-year-old freaking Erislandy Laura, man. You know what I'm saying? I know people ain't hyped up because he went in there and stopped Zarafa in 2 rounds. I know you ain't jumping up and clicking your heels for that. But I was like, shit, Crawford should go up to 60 because they don't have too much going on up there. Shit, Bud can even go after them other 2 titles since dudes aren't PBC fighters. Hey, man, hey, real talk. We just gotta wait and let the process, you know what I'm saying? Trust the process, man. If we trust the process, then we'll be able to appreciate the progress. You know what I'm saying? That MD, we gotta just trust and be patient. Unlike these aerosexuals who jumped and thought that everything was gonna work itself out. It was gonna be easy running. And then they go have the fight, and both of the fighters are suspended. So are they gonna put Spence on the clock like they do Crawford? What did we just hear? Crawford ain't did anything. He's taking an extended victory lap. He ain't really tried to fight nobody since Spence. Since they let him. He's no longer in the contract with Spence. What is he doing? He's just wasting away his career. The man don't turn 37 in September. He lives the fighter lifestyle. He hasn't been on record as being out there and having any life-threatening incidents that's going to affect him when he stepped through those ropes, unlike other people that we know. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to mention any names. The new narrative is Bud ducked a rematch, but they are setting everything up for an undisputed rematch of 154. Bud ducked a rematch. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what more can a man do? It's not like Bud had to activate the rematch, right? Spence had to activate the rematch knowing he had cataracts, and he did nothing about it. He activated the rematch and then take it all the way to the expiration date and until Jerron Ennis get the IBF, and then they let him out. It was all a conspiracy. They did what they supposed to. They end up, punishing Bud again because they don't like him. He too dark skinned for them. You know what I'm saying? He too dark skinned. I'm just gonna say it. Bud too dark skinned. He's a throwback fighter. They don't like that. They think Bud should get paid the wages that they got paid back then. You know what I'm saying? They want Bud to live through the boxing era way back then before it actually evolved into what it is now. That's all. They don't like him, dog. And he's from Omaha. If he's from any other place, man, other than Omaha, he will have a little less hate. Seriously. That ain't happening. EJ will probably never be in the same city as Bud for the rest of natural life. Hey, man, Bud, during that time, Bud was in Texas. Bud was there plenty of times in Texas, man. He was over there. That's a fact. He was over there in Texas, man. Spence really not like that. It's the reason he started at 54 and moved down to 47. Well, he did, waste time for whatever he was doing at a higher division instead of just locking down. It took him all the way up to Alejandro Barrera to freaking lock in and start consistently competing at 147 pounds. Now, why it took him so long, going around kicking rocks, I don't know. But he could have very well, if he really had his mind set to become a champion and all that, he could have jumped into the fire, but he didn't. He didn't jump in the fire like that. 918 on deck, salute. Yeah, it was crazy how people that don't even like Bud know what's best for him. Man, you ain't never lied, man. I ain't never seen so many people trying to step up and be Bud's uncle, man. They want to be his uncle, his daddy, his grandfather, his great-grandfather, his mentor, his life coach, all that, man, in one. They sit up here with a suit and tie. Well, first of all, I've been covering boxing for quite some time now, and I'm going to tell you, what's that guy name from Omaha? Terrence. Yeah, Terrence Crawford. He has a name that will fit well in a Crawford and in a corporate office. Yes, he does. But the way he does business in this boxing setting, he won't make it that long. He'll get fired. I mean, they just come up with all this shit. You know, like he's not doing what he's supposed to do in the sport. You know, he's not doing what he's supposed to do, man. They always find something wrong. Crawford is in an era where he's not going to be appreciated until he leaves the sport, y'all. They're not going to show that man genuine support and love and give him, pay homage to him for what he's been able to achieve until he hangs up the gloves, man. His Hall of Fame ceremony is going to be lit. But while he's still here being the most dangerous man in boxing, they refuse to show that man love for some reason. I think they just being prejudiced and they trying to damn single out and target the dark-skinned black man. You know, even his own people. His own people are doing the same thing. For real. Seriously, man. He fought Van Heeren at 156 and got his mouthpiece knocked out that fight. Spence fans don't bring that up. You're going to find out they have an acute sessions, right? Flashbacks all the time. They have episodes, current episodes of selective amnesia that MD. This is something, I mean, Juice, they do this all the time. They have selective amnesia when it comes to recognizing and talking about stuff that Spencer's did. But yet, they'll talk about Bud like he was the one that had the accident. Like he's the one that's having a problem cutting weight. Like he's not living a fighter's lifestyle. I mean, it's blatant hypocrisy to the fullest, bro. Like that's what they get their intoxication from. They love drinking out of the same cup of stupidity, ignorance, and hypocrisy, man. They don't fucking care. Nobody gives a shit, man. Nobody. There's no conformity, man, across in this sport. They all verbally agree to run it from Bud. Hey, talk to him, Carlos. They all verbally agreed to duck Bud, didn't they? Right? They verbally agreed to duck Bud. This man Sampson, you know, I understand, man. Come on, man. You sound like a freaking plantation owner, man. The way you was assessing Bud, like this shit cannot be. You can't discard, man, his prejudice, man. This dude said, oh, yeah, it will never happen. How can you say it'll never happen? How, man? You say Bud is just looking for a payday. But you're looking for a payday. All because your fighter's in a position that he's never been in. You all was just weeping when he got knocked and flatlined. He saw the ghost of Leo Santa Cruz when he went to the upper room. Gervonta was up there with that grin on his face. My nigga. You up here too? Oh, yeah. Man, hey, you got to duck, weave, and bob. You got to take a step back, catch and shoot. Man, come on, man. They was just goddamn weeping when Fundora got flatlined, bro. And he over here talking about Crawford just want a payday. He no likable style. He can't sell tickets. How many years are y'all going to continue to say the same rhetoric? Agitprop. When are y'all going to think for yourself? The man is the most dangerous fighter in the sport. And your reason for ducking him, you want to freaking make sure your language comes off as if you're intelligent and you're trying to articulate why you don't want to fight Bud. He no likable style. He wants 50-50. His ego. He want a payday. Are you stupid? He's supposed to negotiate. He's supposed to negotiate. He is absolutely supposed to negotiate based off what his achievements have been. A 3-weight world champion and your fighter just won 2 titles. Kudos to him. Kudos. But you are looking for a payday too, because you up here talking about my fighter. I ain't no longer, in no way I tell Fundora that he will get less than 50%. It's never happening. Never happening. Nobody gives a damn about you shutting anything down like that. If you want to think your fighter is going to become this huge megastar, all because you want to be a hard negotiator, well, good luck trying to find opposition that the fight fans want to see. Fundora just got off the canvas, and this dude's up here talking about Crawford has an ego, all because he wants more than 50% versus Fundora. Spence has trouble with southpaws. Fundora has a major advantage in that aspect. Plus, he throws jabs all fight. I actually have Fundora beating Spence in a close action fight. Well, look at it this way, Carlos. I have to correct you on that. Fundora throwing that many jabs, that was something he chose to do against Zoo. Okay? Usually Fundora, the way he fights, he actually lower his advantages, you know, especially that 6'6" frame. He usually wanted to fight on the inside and make it a knock 'em, sock 'em, drag out fight. You know, that's one of the few times that we've seen Fundora stick behind, stay active on the stick and be consistent. And he had moments where he threw combinations, but it wasn't like they was consistent every round. You know, he got popped. You know, Tim Tszyu landed some great shots on Fundora, popped his head back. You know, Fundora took it. But I'm telling you, I think if that cut and that blood wouldn't have been leaking the way it would, and he had clear vision, enough to get past that jab and land some, I'm telling you, I think he could have did some damage on Fundora now. Now watch Fundora get in Spence and forget how to use his range. Well, put it this way. We don't know how Spence is going to come in there because he never fought a fighter. Just like you said, first of all, let's deal with the southpaw situation. And also, Spence has never shown that his versatility will allow him to go in there against Fundora and be able to make adjustments. What fight has he had to do that? I mean, Fundora is extremely tall, right? I'm not saying Spence don't have good height on him. He has pretty decent height. But you know, we got to see how he gets past Fundora's jab, because one thing about Spence, he throw the 1-1-2. He'll double up on the jab just to get in close and then try to land the overhand left. You can't do the same shit all the time, man. Put down the ABCs, man, and start playing Scrabble. Create your own words. Let me start back here. A B, a C. You can't do that. It's not gonna work with Fundora. You got to create some openings. Shout out to Hustle Man, One Love, in the chat. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Shakur retweeted one of my tweets, and everybody in the comments saying Bud dropped the belts to duck Boots. Couldn't make this shit up. People really believe Bud is avoiding Boots, and they want Crawford to give Boots attention, but they didn't want Errol Spence to give Bud attention. They try to put Bud in the same position of Boots when it comes to resumes, and absolutely he had more qualifications to be there to face Errol Spence, being that they was in the same division, and Bud beat Jeff Horn for the title, right? But you can't say the same for Boots Ennis. I'm glad he was able to settle, right? They settled. It was dismissed with prejudice, right? That doesn't clean up his resume. It doesn't clean up the fact that they knew he was locked into a contract and all that bullshit. I just don't have no time to even talk about it. Crawford's doing, he's making moves in 154, and Boots is not even in conversation. I thought he was supposed to be facing Cody Crowley. They said Bud will be able to get a fight when he gets off snack. Tell Sampson that every fight wants a payday. Yeah, right. Every fighter wants a payday. Per the Ali Act, a fighter can't come in here and fight for free. He up here talking that dumb shit like Canelo don't negotiate millions. Canelo looking for a payday too. Didn't he leave the PBC and come back? He looking for a payday too. These fighters don't get no retirement pension. All of them, like you said, Carlos, are looking for a payday, man. They're looking for a payday. All Spence has to do is fight back, and we wouldn't be here. Hey, man, he better be in the gym. He better seek out Andre Rozier. Robert Garcia has offered his training. He got to get it together, bro. The expert genius in the building. What's good? Hey, man, I'm going to drop the link for anybody who have anything to say about this situation. If you're aerosexual, you're invited too. I definitely want to hear from the aerosexuals and what they have to say. If it's boxing related, don't come up here and get personal. I'm not on that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not on that time right now because, Bud Crawford, come back and get on that time with me on April 26th. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to the forecast. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I'm looking forward to see what happens at April 25th, and then we can be on that time. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody to come up here and tell me again that Errol Spence resume is better than Bud. You know what I'm saying? And all that good stuff. Because they want to continue to insert Boots. Boots is not even in the conversation right now. For what? They're gonna say that Crawford ducked people for eternity. He's focused on the task at hand, man, moving forward. That is whoever his opponent's gonna be for this WBO super welterweight title, man. A 4th division. That's what we need. Nobody's talking about Boots unless you're in the military and you about to go to work. Hey, can you hand me that boot over there? Yeah, give me that boot. Yeah, that boot band too. Yeah, okay. Appreciate it. Man, hey, you got your boot brush? And give me that so I can dust these off, man. It's a little bit dusty from the deployment that we was just on. Oh man, you got some brand new boots? Oh wow, that's cool, man. They comfortable? Yeah, I'm gonna buy me some later. I mean, that's about it, man. Hey man, you wearing those Johnson & Murphy boots out there to the club? Yeah, man, they look nice, huh? Man, those things are nice. How much they run you? About three and a quarter. You know what I'm saying? About 3 1/4. What's up, Carlos? How you feeling, bro?
WCS, what's up, baby?
I'm chilling, man. How about you, bro?
Man, I'm good. I can't complain, man. I came back from the Sixers game earlier. See my man Joel Embiid come back. They won, so I'm having a good night. Enjoying the chat as always, and the conversation.
Up,
but these
so
motherfuckers, man, this shit gets on my nerves sometimes. I understand the game of boxing. I know it's like one of them things where it's like we've seen so much of it. It's like it shouldn't surprise us, but it's like it shit's annoying at times, man. It's like you got this guy talking about, oh, he's looking for a payday. You dumb fuck. Everybody wants a payday. What do you think they're in the damn game for? Like, absolutely. What the fuck? Why do you call it professional athletes for? I mean, I understand some people do it for the love, but even Bud knows I got to get paid. I got bills to pay. The fuck?
And they don't get a healthcare pension at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
No. It's crazy. It's crazy. What else is crazy is that how is it, right? A dude is so good that he hasn't even stepped foot in the division and he's already the boogeyman of it.
Exactly, man. How can you be the ducker, right? But you're being ducked. And you did everything you're supposed to do at the division below to get the activation to come up there to 154 and jump the line. But this fool up here talking about he has a no likable style. He got 11 straight Nate, I swear to God, that was the dumbest interview that I've heard in a long time, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
That emotion overtakes that logic sometimes. They don't even realize what the hell they be saying at times. It's like you just said just to say anything I spare time. It's like, dude,
Hey,
like first off,
did you hear
Bud's
him?
not with the get along thing.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't mean to cut you off, but did you hear when he said, Bud wants more than 50%? That would never happen. I'm not, bro, you sound like a plantation owner, man. Shut up.
Sound like Steven from Django.
For real, man. I'm like,
Crazy as hell. Who that nigga
what are
on
you
that
talking
man?
about? It'll never happen. What are you talking about, man? Go ahead, man.
I tell
Shout
like
out to
this.
Expert Genius and Mr. Golden on deck and Blunt's on deck. What's good, y'all?
I had to hop on to kind of tease Carlos for a minute. You know y'all got lucky tonight.
Oh, you talking about the game?
Yeah, y'all got lucky tonight, man.
Listen, the Angels from Africa was on our side tonight, brother. That's all.
We almost had y'all, but almost ain't good enough.
You almost about to get kicked off the panel too, Expert Genius.
Say what?
Bringing up this basketball shit on a goddamn Crawford, goddamn elevation series, man. How dare you talk about two teams I don't support?
Hey, but listen, when it comes to that Bud shit, man, it's crazy because it don't matter. It's like, you know how when you see a guy in the street and he got the 3 cups and you got to look for whatever under that 1 cup and he you know what I mean, he shuffles it. It don't matter how they do it. I don't care how they shuffle the cups. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's fucking Spence, Fundora, it could be motherfucking Thanos. I don't give a shit. Bud is gonna be 3-time undisputed. That's all that matters to me. And I love all the shit that's going on in the storylines, but it don't matter. They could run, they could try to run, they could do whatever the fuck they want. Bud is gonna be 3-time undisputed. He's gonna make history, and he's gonna be top 10 all time. That's it.
The saddest stuff I seen it yesterday. People lobbying for Fundora to drop the WBO and have Crawford fight Lubin for the vacant title. They trying to do.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's like
Lubin?
Ain't nothing wrong with him fighting Lubin, but it's like they trying to do everything in their power to make sure Spence gets a shot at the title so he can become champion again. It's like,
oh, okay.
That this dude just left. I mean, he just lost and he just ducked a rematch, and y'all want to give him a title shot.
Hey, man, it's called prejudice. It's called prejudice, man.
Yeah.
What's up, gentlemen? How y'all doing tonight?
What's up, Mr. Golden?
How you feeling, man?
Oh, I'm blessed, man. Caught the hardest working man that is, man, tonight.
Hey, man, I just had to come on, continue to spread the gospel.
Hey, spread it, my brother. Spread it.
My man WCS was putting the miles in yesterday, driving, doing them live.
Hey, yeah.
All just to go to the corner store.
You think he what? Nigga, I could even keep up with him, man.
I was giving y'all a
he was doing going to the corner store. I said he do live in Atlanta.
Well, the corner store in Atlanta is about 10 miles apart, ain't it?
Nah, corner store in Atlanta like 2 blocks apart.
I know, 2 blocks away. I know how it is. You got a corner store on every block. Hey, man, listen, and then, I'm seeing a thing here, man. Before Earl even talking about coming back fight, wasn't Bud already going on to 54?
Before who was coming back to fight?
Before Earl even told me he want to take the fight or something. Bud already told me going to 50. He already petitioned me, talking about Bud fighting the winner of Timzuna, right?
Yeah, he was already ahead of the game. He had already, the information, the news was already out. He was, activating his WBO, and then that's when, Spence put that tweet out.
Well, matter of fact, way before then, they were talking about that. That's when they replaced him. That's when they threw Keith Thurman in there, right? At first.
No, they put Thurman number 4.
No. When they first came out and talked about Bud, him and Tim's would have been negotiation. The fight, that's when it came with Keith Thurman. At the very first beginning, that's when after that's when Keith Thurman got the call for the fight. Well, I'm saying also here to say this here. I seen a joker talk about Bud and moved to 54 to Earl till he want to fight somebody. I said, man, get out of here, man. I said, the fool up, man. I said, now he want to follow Earl of 54. I said, but the Earl 6 is wild as hell, man.
Yeah, am I the only one? Did he look goofy up there in that ring at the end of the fight?
Man.
He looked wild goofy, man. Wild goofy, laughing all goofy and shit.
Is he the big fish or the big dog? I'm confused.
Nah.
No, you go from being in the marine life, to now you're the big dog. What dog are you?
A Chihuahua.
He's a fish dog.
No, we gotta leave that Chihuahua alone.
He ain't congratulate him or nothing like that. He just got in there. He was like, oh, yeah, you know, he got me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, who are you?
Big dog.
Like, nigga, where did you come from,
yeah,
nigga?
It was unprofessional. For real.
You know what I'm saying?
But you got to look at it, Blunts, too. He did Sean Porter like that, too, after he beat Danny Garcia. He jumped in that motherfucker. He was drunk. He didn't tell Danny Garcia congrats either.
Yeah, shit.
Bro, he just
not Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. Sean Porter. He didn't tell Sean Porter congrats.
He just told me he gonna break somebody down. I bust that left when he said that shit.
Yeah.
Right. You seen that shit? Like how he was gonna beat him right there. Like, goddamn, nigga, like, congratulate the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Support the, like, he just became a unified champ. Nigga, you said that talking about, bro, you know what I mean? I'll break his ass down. Like, come on, G. Stop it.
Break him down like always.
Always. My ear broke one.
Like always. Like, nah, nigga.
Now listen.
Nah, not like always.
I just wish when that nigga said that shit, boy was standing behind his ass. That nigga probably would have shit.
Oh man, that would have been a classic
coming
moment.
in from the other side of the ring.
That would have been a classic moment right there, guys. That shit would have went viral, man.
Yeah.
The boy would have still let it. The boy only one said, "You didn't break me down." That nigga probably would have shit. Probably would have fell out.
On the real, salute y'all.
Hey, OG, let me get Bud gonna stop Canelo. What's good, man?
What's up, man?
What's good, bud?
Salute, bro. Yeah, man. It's like, to me, yeah, I listened to the full interview too of Samson. He was on that tripping, man. Like, first of all, you didn't even talk to Spence to know he'd take 50%. And you didn't talk to Bud to say you don't know if he won't take 50%. You just saying what you want, what you think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know if Bud will take 50%. He was just saying anything to get as far away from Bud as possible. So that's why he ended up saying, well, he said, forget both of them. We're going to fight Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? Based on, he gave two different reasons why, but based on even a verbal agreement. So that's fine. Then he made it all the way till November. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stretch out the time. So my thing is, that's cool. If you want to do that, you're going to have to, Fundora got to get stripped because the time limit is going to be up way before that. So since Spence is all of a sudden back, he should be able to fight Bud now. You're not hurt, which is the reason why you got out the rematch. Neither one of y'all getting Fundora. So why aren't everybody should be pushing for that fight? Nobody want that get back. Spence don't want that get back. None of the Spence fans said nothing about that. They mentioned it. Everybody else except Bud. That's the fight that should take place for the WBO. The Spence and Crawford. That's what I think.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Bro. You know, damn where other eye gonna be messed up. He gonna say you gotta go have surgery again until I'm fighting Bud.
They gonna fake another car accident.
They're gonna fake another car accident. You know, I mean, it just boxing right now. It's just ridiculous. But the main thing I'm getting out of this all this right now, or I'm enjoying the best part, the Earl sections are so quiet now. I say the boy can't fight till November.
No. They not quiet though. They not quiet though. They out in full force.
I've been talking on Facebook.
They saying Bud ducking boosts. They saying, you know what I mean, he vacating the IBF. Like, they don't even know the situation. But I just read a comment just now. Motherfucker said that's why he vacated the IBF title, because he don't want to fight Boots. What?
Right.
They sound like
what the fuck do they be talking about?
I watched.
You know, hey, Bunch, you know they on that type of time now. It don't have to be true anymore. They just put it out there. They just put it out there, man.
They talking about Bud ducked the fight at 54. Like, what? We know L said it. Espinosa. Like, come on now, y'all just don't lie.
I didn't even dip his toe in the damn division yet.
Man,
he didn't even dip his toe in the water yet.
And look, they act like Spence they talking about Bud only want to move up because Spence wanted that fight. When Bud been put in, he was moving up before Spence. He was hurt. Bud said he petitioned the WBO to invoke his status way before Spence said he coming to Vegas.
Yeah, he did. He petitioned the day I had surgery.
Right, they act like Spence was coming there first. Like they delusional.
Man, they fools that man. Them fool was so all up till it was a saying. They don't got the baby oil, the fish grease, chicken grease, everything, boy. Wow.
Look, I watched the Ndongo fight.
Hey, Golden. I wish, like you said, which Bud would have showed up in that motherfucking ring while fucking Spence was in there. Spence would have been like, oh shit, I think I need surgery in my other eye.
Who mentioned Ndongo?
They would have arrested Bud up there trying to get in that.
Hey, who mentioned the Ndongo fight? Because it's crazy. Because I was just talking to somebody earlier that was trying to say that Crawford ain't fought. He hasn't fought nobody, and Danny Garcia had a better
resume.
Had a better resume and fought better champions at 140. And I'm like, bro, you do realize Danny only fought 2 champions in his career. The first champion he fought was Amir Khan, and the second champion he fought was Keith Thurman. Everybody else has been for a vacant title. So, who are these mythical champions Danny Garcia fought?
Exactly. And look, so
Eric Morales.
I watched that fight. And,
who said Eric Morales?
Old ass Eric Morales.
He wasn't a champion.
It was a vacant. That was a vacant.
No, I'm with you though. I'm mocking his fucking resume. Like,
yeah,
it's trash.
Eric Morales was old.
Zab
Zuda was old.
They just
Paulie Malignaggi, he was whatever.
So they've been doing this long. I was like, Ndongo was some years ago. So I watched the fight, you know what I'm saying? His first time undisputed. I look in the comments, I see current era sexuals in the comment section talking about, oh, he had a weak 140 undisputed run. He need to do that at 147. And he beat Ndongo for undisputed. That ain't nothing. He running from like all these same people. They got when he did it to Spence, they making excuses. But you said it was weak at 140, but now that he proved himself at 147, you got a whole different list of excuses as to why he did it.
Hey, you just should have left in the comments. Did Ndongo put up a better fight?
Man, I should have said that too. I did though, but I was getting that on though about those Spence situations.
I mean, Ndongo only went 3 rounds though. Ndongo won the round long time now. Crawford got him up out of there quick.
He hurt that man.
Yeah,
Spence was hurt. Spence was hurt just as quick though. So, I mean,
10
more seconds in round 2, and that shit would have been over with.
He was toying with Spence.
I see.
Round 2, that was tucked up in the ropes.
Man, listen, I see the Joker put in the comment say, if Ball was all that, why it took him 9 rounds to get rid of Spence?
That's because he carried him. You know what I'm saying? He carried him to make that money.
If he knocked him out in the first round, they're gonna say it was just a lucky shot. It's always gonna be something.
Listen, Earl was done in a second. He was done in a second round.
That's like a motherfucker saying that he got his, like somebody saying you got your ass beat, and he's saying, well, at least he ain't knocked me out though.
Yeah, for real, right?
That's Carlos. Yeah, Carlos
he had knocked me out, dog. I was standing.
That's what Carlos.
That's what Charlo did when he got out of there with Canelo.
Yeah,
exactly. He was just happy to go 12 rounds, man.
And look, I tell you this, if that rematch ever happened, Bud gonna hurt Spence for real. Like he gonna hurt him for everything that just happened. He ain't finna play with him at all.
Come on, man. I was just telling somebody that
for real.
They're talking about the PVC with the bullshit. I said I would call Earl to get his ass cut the last time. But the same bullshit they're pulling now. They got Earl.
Now we the ones we want to see the rematch. Now, first it was them. Get his rematch at 54. Bud need to be a man of his word. Now they running from the fight, and we want the fight. Now we want the rematch. What's up?
But see, they running from the fight because they don't have leverage, to come with that bullshit. They don't have the leverage like they did at 47, so they can't go up here and say you
can't make
for
them
net
wait
pay.
again.
You know what I'm saying? They can't say, oh, you fighting for net pay or come up with anything. They can come up and talk about they don't have it in the budget, They got to. They have it in there for freaking Canelo. They're gonna have it in there for Tank. You know,
Right.
so they got to figure it out.
They ain't got, man, listen, they just hollering about us in here, but that thing, Earl, he ain't gonna fight nobody out of PBC. Anybody else, he ain't fighting nobody else.
Well, he got to get a title right quick. That's the only way we're gonna have a collision.
Oh, we can get it. You know,
if Crawford beats Spence, for the vacant, I mean, it's gonna mess up everything else. I'm not saying he can't fight for another title. It's just gonna take a little bit longer.
Them other titles at Matchroom.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take him a little while.
And see, and guess what? You showed up in other times at Metro, and that's what they're afraid of. If Boyle would have fought Fundora and became
unified. Yep.
Unified. He got unified before the end of next year. He'd have been undisputed. But he was gonna go right there on and Metro. Now, see, Air Haven can't control that. They got that, so that's why Spence trying to get that WBC belt so he can hold it.
And for Samson to sit there and say, Bud not exciting, his style not likable. He fight like Devin Haney. Like, first of all, Devin Haney could fight, but granted, he don't get knockouts or none of that. But they fight nothing alike. Bud, one of the most exciting fighters in boxing.
Nothing alike.
He the best finisher in boxing.
He was on.
Everybody let's see what round Bud gonna knock a nigga ass out of here. That is all to it.
Hey, real quick, Samson, he's the one that got the 2 twin sons, right?
I don't know. He the dude that with that. I know he be wearing that Fundora headband. He a coward, man. He a straight coward.
I don't know if he got the twin
I'm
sons
thinking
or
about
not.
somebody else. My bad.
I don't know if
I'm
he
thinking
got
about
the
somebody
twin
else.
sons or not.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about, right? He's always around the
you
fighters.
talking about Sam Watson. You talking about the brother.
Sam Watson. My bad.
You talking about
I
Sam
got the names
Watson,
mixed up. Okay.
And they not twins. They brothers. They just look alike. They just brothers. Marcus
for real?
and Brandon.
I always thought they were twins.
WCS.
Yeah, Marcus and Brandon. They're not twins.
Hey, World Combat.
Damn.
The screen. Remember
Strong
you was talking
genes,
about? Remember when they said you posted the screenshot how they was looking, right? When they said something. When Samson said something.
Yeah.
That screenshot was cool, but it didn't do no justice to how they really look. Like, you got to see the whole motion. I watched it. I seen how all of them was looking like, what? Like, they looked at him like he was a fool. Like, Ness put his head down. Like, what are you talking about? Danny, everybody was looking crazy. Like, what? He was talking out the side of his neck, bro.
And Danny told him, man, you got to come better than that, Samson. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
He was tweaking up there. It was none but fear. That's all. He sound terrified of Bud.
They all do.
Yeah.
So who was y'all? I asked this before, but in the scheme of things, let's just say he come off that title the 25th. He gets stripped of the title. First, if y'all had to see Buzz at 154 fight a competitive fighter outside of Spence, who would you want to see a fight though?
Does it have to be one, or can we name something?
You can name whoever.
I said, well, I don't really know who. I don't really care. But I know I told Greg Hackett from YSM. I told him, how about Boots move to 54 and fight for the vacant title against Bud? And he told me he don't want Boots. He not ready for Boots to go to 54 yet. So I respect that, and because he was honest about it. So Boots don't want that smoke at 54. So
already said
people can stop talking about that.
Boots already said he's staying at 54. 47.
Yeah.
He went on a big fight for Devin Haney and Theo. No, they move up to 47.
So
they can stop
Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah.
I would go with it. I would go with everybody else is saying. I'll say either Lubin, Garcia, or Zoo.
I don't want to see Bud fight but one person. I wanted to beat the shit out of his ass. Get that nigga out of recess.
Charlo, right?
That's what I want.
Yeah, I was waiting on somebody to say that. Jamel
That's
was
what I
only
want.
on recess.
That's the only person I want to see Bud beat.
I don't know no reason why he can't jump up and be number one. He ain't, he went up, he fought for undisputed. He put his,
Listen, but Bud
He
gonna be
need
the
to come
first
back
fighter
down
in
and get
history
that
to
work.
have an undisputed title. All
in 3
vacated.
divisions. Lubin, that's not a big fight. I don't think Bud want that fight. I don't think that's a big fight either. And
I mean,
Virgil
for a
Ortiz,
vacant title, it's okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean maybe.
I mean, he beat Ramos now. Didn't he beat Ramos definitively?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Virgil
did,
Ortiz.
but he boxed him though. He ain't gonna have the power to keep Bud off of him. Bud gonna
Yeah,
smash
but
him.
he
Virgil
got a
Ortiz.
name though. He got a
But
name.
never say
Logan got a name.
Ortiz not gonna fight Bud, so we can forget about that too. He don't want no Bud.
Yeah, Ortiz ain't gonna. But I like Ortiz though. At least he
Oh, Bud.
tell you that I ain't ready for him.
So
He
Right.
about to fight Thomas
whatever way-
DeLorme 154. Can
Right,
you
the Lord.
believe that?
Like
All
people,
right,
What
I got
kind
a
of
you talking about?
opponent is that?
I got a question. I'm gonna ask you a serious question. Do y'all really think they're gonna skip the boy because he got a medical thing now? Because he got to have surgery? You think WBO gonna skip him or what?
they gonna strip him. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, why
Because
is that the case?
of medical. I'm saying because of medical.
He
It
got to
don't.
get his nose repaired. I mean, why should he
Yeah.
hold on to the belts for that
And
long?
even if that was if they gave him time, it don't take 8 months to get surgery in your nose to heal. It don't take 8 months for that.
Yeah, let's keep it tall as they call it.
unless he
let's
follows
look
this
at
blueprint.
let's look at how they say about Kell Brook getting eye surgery. They say, oh, that only takes 4 weeks to heal.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That only takes 4
Yeah.
weeks. He should be back.
But the way they talk like Earl's like got to take 16 years.
But it's crazy
Yeah.
because it does say it takes 4 to 6 weeks to heal, but that's due to people not being in like a contact or a combat sport.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, 8
You gotta take
months.
that whole 6 weeks.
8 months is way too long for your nose to heal from surgery. Like, come on, he getting surgery like in the next week. That's what Samson was saying. He went in there yesterday to get it checked. So it don't take 8 months to do that. So he just trying to stall time. So he
Hold on. Normally, you don't get surgery for your nose when it's broken. They just,
Hey, it's good. That's a good point on there, OG, because for the simple fact they say Fundora nose always bleeds. So how is he taking this long? You know, and they say his nose always bleeds like that.
So
It's a strategy. You use that so when you get stripped, you have an excuse.
not only that, they're trying to get Earl enough time to get ready.
and why
Since
did
you
they
so high in the air, the nose it just bleed like that. It bleed heavy like that.
why didn't they say it was a verbal agreement for a rematch? None during this build-up when they was talking about Spencer Crawford next. Nobody said nothing about a rematch clause, verbal or non-verbal. Like that just popped up all of a sudden.
All that shit is just the layman's terms. We don't want Bud problems.
Yeah, that's all that
All
was.
that is.
Yeah.
We don't want
Shit
no Bud
disgraceful,
problems.
G.
I'm gonna keep faith
They
that
ain't
Bud
giving
is
no
going to be
medical
able
exemption to
to.
Bud.
I'm gonna keep faith
They
that
wouldn't
he's
have
gonna
gave
be
him
able to
one.
get that title though. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be able to do big things at 154. As grimy as boxing is, I got faith, man.
I
He ain't
think
gonna have to do nothing at 154. He gonna be the first fighter in history to get a whole division vacated. They just gonna hand him the belts. Here, have all 4 of the belts because none of these motherfuckers want to fight you.
what
Mail
the
them
deal
to
is,
him.
Bud gonna get a WBO. Then he gonna do a unification for the WBC. The WBA, and he gonna do one for the IBF. And they trying to get Earl the WBC, and then they gonna fight for undisputed. It's a possibility, but Fundora might just say, "Fuck it, I'm going for undisputed with Bud." You know, I mean, shit.
Whatever way it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's not
Whatever
forget.
way it
Let's not
happens.
forget. Jamel Charlo is in recess at WBC, so they
Yeah.
love in-house fights. Let's see. Errol Spence. Trying to fight Jamel Charlo. Shit.
To make it so bad, Jamel still got the linear championship though, right? He still got a ring magazine belt.
Yeah, that's the only thing he has.
Yeah.
And the PBC guys only could beat PBC guys, so they might as well just fight them each other.
Yeah, he's
Might as well.
still relevant. He's still relevant over there.
Still relevant. But somebody said he was in jail.
No,
Somebody
man.
said he's in jail. I heard he had a seizure. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I heard it. I don't know.
Motherfucker drinking that lean.
They ain't that damn lean. See, I'm gonna tell y'all what really happened in that Charlo fight. That Charlo and Canelo fight, right? See, what happened was when Bud was talking to that nigga in the ring, and he beat the shit out of Earl and was talking to his ass at the same time, and they said, "Fuck that shit. I'm just gonna lay down and I ain't coming back." He said, "I ain't taking that ass cutting."
He said, "I'm gonna take a long ass recess."
He said, "You know, listen, all before he was talking coming down to 54. He gonna fight Bud. He gonna do this. He gonna do that and do that." Man, the way that nigga beat motherfucking goddamn Earl ass and was talking to you at the same time, you think I'm gonna come back and fight a nigga like that? Man, hell no.
Right, he did that interview talking about I want to knock Bud Crawford out. But
Man.
he disappeared. And PBC, they gonna leverage, they gonna pass the WBC around for as long as they can. And Bud, like he was saying, I think Bud gonna be undisputed because he gonna corner them by getting all the other titles, and they ain't gonna have no choice.
The best part,
I could be the guy to fight Canelo. Canelo, come to 158. I can easily make 158. And I'll put a boxing lesson on him just as great as Floyd Mayweather did, the great, you know. I mean, I didn't say it all. Now, I don't understand what they got going on, but just, you know, pay me my bread. My brother could fight him in 160 and whatever the case is, and all these other guys. I'm the 54 champion, baby. Not the other one, but you know what? I'll put these hands on any one of these motherfuckers. Straight up.
Let's talk about that because, you know, obviously you got the fight with Castaño and you said that you want to be the undisputed champion. So you feel at 154, that's the last line of business for you before you think about your future, whether it's moving up or what have you.
Trash.
Negotiations.
It's trash.
Oh God.
What happened was, look, Bud messed up their plans. That's why PBC is so mad. They wanted Errol, they wanted him to fight Canelo. So when Bud stepped in and he beat Errol, so that pushed him back from Canelo. And then Bud went after the person they tried to set up Spence to fight for the payday for the money. That's why they threw Charlo in there. They feel like insulted. He destroyed. But Spence then went after Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So they like, damn, this nigga doing too much. So they trying to show him who boss.
I want Spence to get a belt first. They definitely want Spence to get a belt first.
I listened to the captain of the LDBC, and he made a good point. He said, and he called it. They're trying to get Earl with a WBC belt. He get that title, then they're gonna try to set up a fight between him and Canelo in May of next year.
Right. That's why at first Floyd said Canelo's ducking Benavidez. But when Bud came in and destroyed Errol and called out Canelo, now it's switched up to Canelo don't gotta fight him. How about Bud fight Crawford? They fight each other now, and Canelo came back to PBC. So now he cool again. They brought him back in because they try to hold
the Earl fight. They're gonna try to get Earl the WBC belt and put him in a position to fight Canelo next year.
Yep.
I don't care if he get a WBC belt. If Bud get all other three belts, he is not going to fight Bud. He's going to get a fight, and he's going to go into the sunset.
Man, when Crawford decided he wanted to go after Canelo instantly got PTSD. He started thinking about 2013.
Hell yeah.
I ain't doing that again. Floyd, see what happened to me with Floyd. I ain't doing that again.
No,
everybody knows Floyd gonna beat you, but Bud gonna hurt you and stop you. They fear Bud.
I'm gonna tell you something. That shook him up, Canelo up. Because first Bud told him to meet him at a catchweight, right?
Yeah.
He said, "They were bossing. Fuck it. I come on 68 and fight you." That really shook his ass up there. He was he gonna come win 68? Hell no.
Exactly. Because at first he said, I'm not gonna fight him. He said, I'm not gonna fight him. That's too small. I'm not going down and weight. So, and he said, if he come to 168, I'll fight him. So when Bud said, I'll come to 168 and fight you, then it became, he's too small. I won't get no credit. Like, now that he said, you know what I'm saying? He just straight contradicted himself.
That motherfucker.
He always contradicts himself, bro.
That motherfucker's like, nothing. The boy, no, they speak English, no fighting, nothing.
But it's crazy that the guy they call light in the ass is willing to go up to 168, and the one that's supposed to be the bigger fighter want to fight at the catch weight.
Right. Doing all the heavy lifting.
Man,
yeah, that's strange how things play out, don't it?
Only heavy lifting he doing is that damn fork.
And that bottom, that fifth.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? I don't believe this whole Charlo seizure thing. I don't believe that, bro. At first, I kind of thought it had some validity, but they playing that game again, bro. They kind of because they don't even want Charlo in a mix right now because that'll be an option for Bud. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna keep him somewhere underground, like you know what I'm saying. He hurt to keep him out the mix.
Yeah, because that's why
or they gonna make that fight, and when Bud beat him, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he had that seizure. He was fucked up."
Now, see, with that seizure thing, I have, with my sister being in the medical field, I have questions to that. What trauma did he go through to cause him to have seizures now, or what drugs has he been taking for him to start?
Yeah, I mean that's understandable, but you know how PBC be like. They do these little injuries all of a sudden when they get hot in the kitchen.
Yeah, they do.
Listen,
you know them two Charlo Spence was out. You know, Maul Charlo was out with a back, and then Mel was out with the wrist, and then Arrow was out with the eye situation or whatever.
And Thurman
been out. They always come out with these medical situations.
Thurman was out. Spence had two car accidents.
Which Charlo had a seizure?
Jamel.
Mel Charlo.
He the one that got slapped?
Nah.
He don't want
to. He got slapped by Jerry Hurd, yeah.
Well, they both got slapped.
But yeah, that's not the one who got slapped in the plant, though.
Hey, Frank, can we go back in time for a minute? I'm visioning something right now. Let's go back to December 10th when Earl had that car accident, right?
Yeah.
I guess he had a car messed up in the front.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he walked out with a nail scratch on him. They told me he just hurt a little knee a little bit.
And look, OG, look, this the thing about it. They said, you seen that his Range Rover was smashed like that, right? But that means his Range Rover was bulletproof.
Thank you.
If a bulletproof Range Rover hit another car and that much damage happened to the Range Rover, a bulletproof range, that other car had to be destroyed and that person has to be severely hurt. But we never heard of no injury, never heard of who it was. So it would have been something severe happened to that other person if that damage happened to the Range Rover like that.
Not only that. You see, I picked that shit apart. If you get in a car accident like that, head-on collision, you're gonna see body parts of both cars right or wrong.
Some would have happened. That other car would have been.
You're gonna see body parts.
It's depending on the speed. It depending on everything. You know what I'm saying?
Because look,
the way that car looked there, he had to be going. Somebody had to be going a hell of a lot of fast.
You talking about on the night that he fought Amnesian?
Yeah. And look,
well, that was supposed to have been a teenage driver, though.
That Range Rover weighed more than 10,000 pounds. So that must damage. A regular
car smashed that car right there. When that bulletproof like that, that's steel.
So that other car would have been destroyed. You would have seen that car bent up in a small little Rubik's Cube on the street.
Yeah, I agree. Where was the car?
That whole front would have been off.
They never showed it. They never showed it.
Not to mention, after that car crash, he faked that damn leg injury.
Right. I think Spence ran into the wall. Then he went live talking he had a car accident.
Not only that, if we look at the car completely, on the personal side of the car, the rear end of it was messed up. But he got hit head on.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I think it was a stunt, man.
That was a stunt. Cause how the hell you gonna go live after head on that collision and you laughing about the shit?
Right.
Come on, man. Somebody hit you like that head on collision.
And then the same night is Crawford fight. Like, come on now. What's the odds?
And you know, the same night as him fighting Avanesian, and also he took the shirts down that same night.
Right.
And, you know, they was getting ready for the Smoking Bud Pack shirts to come out. That niggas, man.
Them shirts at Bangladesh right now, WCS.
they scared of Bud. Spence fans, they scared to say fight the rematch. They don't want that rematch.
They've been saying at 154 he knocks Bud out. They're like, it's gonna be different at 150. I said, no, it's not, bro. He's got too much skill. And Bud didn't even show everything against your ass the first time. You can only do but so much being a flat-footed fighter, bro.
Bud never got out of first gear.
That's what I'm saying. Where is
he
that?
He was in neutral, bro. That nigga was still in park.
Where is
like
that weight drain energy? He was drained. He was there. Okay, it's 154. Where's that energy at right now? Neither one of them got the Fundora fight. So what's up? None of them want to talk about that.
Yo, WCS did a live with like 400 excuses that the motherfuckers made up for Errol.
For real, man. They made too many excuses, bro. It's just, I know somebody was in the chat. I know somebody in the chat was saying earlier how, some of them other cats was just, coming up with all these fake ass titles and stuff. And the fact that bothered me is that they was talking about how Bud was, was cheating or something, like he was on juice. Or he had his gloves loaded.
Scott, I gotta step up for a minute. I'll be right back. Yeah.
All right, for sure. Yeah, the dude was weight drained and all that. I want to see the fight at 154, man. Real talk.
One of them dudes said, Bud filled his glove with rocks and knocked Errol out of his socks. Like, that's the only way he did it. He had to cheat. His glove was loaded. Snack. He had neurological brain damage. That wasn't the real Earl. It was the dude who brought him out, the rapper. He was high. His girl spiked his drink. Like, they talking about everything, bro. It never ends.
Hey, did y'all see the epilogue of the episode when they fought on I forgot what it was. I don't know what it was on Showtime, whatever. Errol mom was like in a bar by herself at the stadium. She was drinking her ass.
Yeah, she was in the suite. She was in the suite. She was in the suite.
She had the whole bar.
She was up there getting fucked up. She was in the suite.
Yo.
God damn, for real.
Yo, they showed her ass getting drunk.
She was traumatized, G. She's never going back to the T-Mobile.
Crawford, them people was down on the floor, you know what I'm saying, getting ready for the fight. She was up in the suite getting fucked up.
Yeah, man. Fuck the T-Mobile Arena blunts. They ain't going back to Vegas at all. That whole city done gave them motherfuckers traumatized.
Wait, she was getting fucked up before the fight?
Man,
listen, when they, how they show parts,
she was there, man.
I'm pretty sure she was. I know that after the fight was over, she had a couple drinks in her hand. She was taking them bitches down.
You know what? I don't think Spence ever gonna go through that again. He ain't gonna fight Bud no matter what. When I think about it, I don't think he want to fight him again. He just like
what y'all think the best plan is? Bud to attempt to unify 154, just pick up a title at 54 and go to 160 and get up out of here 5 division champion.
Yeah, just get the belt.
Because he's already a Hall of Famer. He's already a Hall of Famer, man.
Just go ahead and get the WBO and just move up to 160 because 154 ain't it right now. They
playing games. I agree.
I say hunt these dudes down at 154, man.
Hell no, man. And I know what you're
talking
about.
He gonna go through the same thing he did at 147. He already 36. He can't do that no more.
For real, he can't stall out for a couple of years. Why these motherfuckers play these political games, man?
So y'all don't think if they strip Fundora and Bud start putting the pressure on Spence, like, what's up, nigga? Let's do this rematch. You don't think that's gonna force them to fight, man? I think if Bud go hard at that nigga, it's gonna make him have to step up.
Bro, we've been through that already before.
But look at what you're saying though. You saying Bud force them. Bud can force something, but he's not going to be able to influence the powers that be to make it happen. A lot of people can call for him to face Spence, but does he really want to face Spence with no belt? I'd rather Spence get a belt so he can have a unification bout and make millions.
Well, that too.
Get a fucking belt. Just like he told Spence. I mean, just like he told Crawford at 47, get a belt.
Yeah, I think it also depends on what happens too. I would do the get a belt, go to 160, but I also think it depends on what happens in between that little time. If Bud gets lucky and something happens and he can get another belt at 154, then hey, go for it. But I would do the get the belt and move on because, like you said, 160 is empty. I'm gonna get them. Let me get that division real quick. And let me get out of here.
But I mean that's gonna be cool, but it ain't like just getting a belt at 160 is not. That's gonna be cool. I understand the history of it, but it's the fighter. Like it ain't nobody up there really besides Charlo. If you fight Charlo at 160, then yeah. But other than that, it ain't nobody really that's gonna stand out like that. I really want to see him fight that people gonna really get into like that. You know?
Hey, just get all the belts and fight Charlo for undisputed.
Yeah, but that's another PBC guy, so he's just gonna do the same thing Errol did.
I think Maul will fight him.
Yeah, these dudes.
What weight though? Catch weight? What weight though?
160. But
no, Maul ain't coming down though. I mean, he just fought at 166. If you continue, allegedly, if you continue to do drugs and drink, man, you ain't gonna be able to make 160. Man, come on, these dudes in their 30s too, dog. They in their 30s.
Matter of fact, hey, look, he might be moving up to 168 if Benavidez is really going to 75.
And now I'm finna say if Bud get the WBO and then he do the same thing to get to 160 and then challenge Canelo at 168, he gonna either be stripped or fight. Canelo still might not fight, but that's a way too. He could probably force Canelo to do it then. You know what I'm saying? That's in 2 more fights. Fight somebody for the WBO at 154, then 160, then challenge Canelo when he gotta fight him or get a belt up.
Shoot, Canelo got Benavidez problems.
I mean, that's if Benavidez, comes back down from 175. I don't think he's gonna come back down to 175 if Canelo don't give him no attention. But somehow rumors are out that Canelo has this big announcement in May. They trying to assume that it might be him saying he's gonna fight Benavidez. We don't know.
Canelo last big announcement was he gonna fight an American, and then he fought a Mexican. So I ain't trying to hit.
You're right. I mean, he was on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna fight Benavidez. What you say?
Canelo versus John Ryder 2.
We might get Golovkin 4.
On the real.
No, please don't say that.
I think Canelo will fight Floyd before he fight Crawford again.
He gonna fight Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
Manny Pacquiao still out there,
168.
And look, Canelo outweighed Amir Khan and Floyd by 20 pounds when he fought them. And I just watched the little Amir Khan thing today. So you didn't care about the weight difference with them, which we've been knew that, but like, how did he using that as an excuse and everybody just accept it, knowing that this man is just dunking Bud Crawford?
Because don't know. You already answered it. Nobody questions it.
Yeah, that nobody questions it.
Enable him to be that way. Yeah.
I'll be a reporter. Let me be one for one day and interview like 3-4 people. I don't even care if I get fired after that, but I'll put the heat on them, man. They just let them get away with saying anything.
Bro, they'll take your credentials before the press conference is even up.
I already know.
I was gonna say that. They will remove your credentials now.
Probably take the video down and everything, man. Close my whole account.
Why you don't want to fight these niggas?
Get him out of here.
Well, you know what happened when, hey, y'all know what happened when the media was at Canelo's media scrum. PBC told them they're not going to ask any questions. They're not to ask any questions about David Benavidez, else they'll be, their credentials will be revoked.
Mm-hmm. They damn near hauled Andrade out there in cuffs. They snatched him up. Get up out of here.
Wait,
they got
Canelo's being a prima donna right now. I wish he'd give Bud the fight because that would be a good challenge for Bud. You know what I'm saying? Moving up to fight Canelo, but Canelo on his political bullshit, man.
That'd be a big fight, man. A huge fight.
That'd be a huge fight.
I would love Canelo to come to the press conference in his silk pajamas versus Bud. That would just be a what do you call it? A foresight. There'll be some foresight going into the future. What's going to happen to Canelo?
Exactly. Everybody knows that energy with Bud is different. Just by even Greg Hackett saying, everybody keep talking about Boots, but Boots don't even want to go nowhere near Bud. So you want to come to 54 and you can get the fight that you so-called want to see?
For
So
real.
they want to take.
And then, hey, you make a good point. I forgot what you go by. What'd you say you go by again? Besides your title?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, Jay, you call me Jay.
Okay, it was another letter last time. I ain't gonna worry about it.
Oh, I
but
said
Jay,
Crazy K,
hey,
Crazy K.
hey, but Jay, check this out though.
Yeah.
You remember the damn, I just forgot what I was gonna say. But
old age catch up with you right there. Forget about shit you put to say.
I was trying to remember his name, but damn, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Damn,
It was
I
about.
should remember too.
What was your last comment? What was your last comment you said, man? What was your
I
last
said
Talk
comment?
about Boots.
Boots coming
Okay,
to
yeah. Boots. They always say how big of a welterweight Boots is, but they don't want him going to 54. But they always talk about how big he is
Exactly.
as a welterweight.
Not only that, everybody calling for Crawford to fight Boots, but Boots.
Exactly.
Hey,
That's true.
Boots don't
His
want
own
to fight
daddy
Bud,
say he
man.
don't want no fucking Bud problems. His
I'm
own daddy
putting
say he don't want no
2,000.
problems with it.
I got 2,000 on Bud in that fight. And I'm betting on a knockout. Boots don't want that smoke.
hey, I'm asking you a question. If Bud was to get the fight with Canelo, he beat Canelo. Let's say he stopped Canelo. What y'all think would happen with Floyd? How y'all think Floyd will react?
Oh well,
Floyd's gonna jump out the window.
I think he gonna disappear for like a month. He gonna disappear for like a month.
I think Floyd would kill himself, boy.
I tell you what Floyd would do. Floyd would be like,
think he really care, man.
Here's what
Floyd
would be like. You know when I fought Canelo, you know,
he was at his best.
Yep.
He was at his best. He was young. He was hungry. I beat him.
He was undefeated. I was the first one to beat him.
Crawford is a good fighter, but you know he fought a fading Canelo, so he gonna start.
He ain't beat him like me.
He gonna diminish
beat him like
somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Even though I never went undisputed, I'm still greater than him.
You know what? That's why Floyd doing everything he can to not allow that to happen, man. I'm telling you, he the one. He in the background making sure it don't happen.
Yeah. He drug that Earl Spence fight out.
Right. They act like Floyd didn't say, I didn't want them two to fight each other. Like he admitted that. So how would
listen, Floyd told us 2 or 3 years for the fight wasn't fit to happen. He said when the fight happened, I'll let y'all know. And Floyd knew that fight wasn't gonna happen. And so when Earl, if y'all notice, when they announced that fight, Earl put it for that. We ain't heard nothing from Floyd.
Yeah, and Floyd said when it happened, he was going to
Floyd answered. Not only that, Floyd was quiet the whole time for that fight to come up. Floyd, you see Floyd doing an interview, no nothing. Only thing you see Floyd doing was smiling at the fight when Bud beat that nigga ass. He sitting there smiling, rubbing his hands together. Yeah, I told you to take the fight.
Floyd knew what was going to happen.
That was an angry smile.
Hey,
that was a jealous smile.
Hey, Floyd couldn't announce anything about the fight because Bud went one step above them. He went directly to Spence.
Right.
But not only that, Floyd bet money on Bud. Nobody can tell me that money on Bud.
I bet he put $1 million on Bud.
I'm telling you, man. We can say we
did gamble for Bud.
Listen, we can say we want to say, but Floyd know what was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
He put more than $1 million on Bud. He put a watch on Bud.
Listen, that's just like Wilder and Fury. That nigga bet against Wilder with Fury and won. And when he did that shit, he think when Fury stopped Wilder, that nigga jumped up on the seat so happy. He bragged about the money, but he ain't he kept a hush about the money he bet on. Got that
Yeah.
He don't want nobody to go undefeated except for if it's Tank.
Like, he know if Bud stopped Canelo, Floyd dropping down in them ranks, that's gonna put Bud above Floyd in almost everybody's eyes.
He don't have to stop Canelo. He go beat Canelo.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Undisputed. I'm just saying he come 3 times undisputed by beating Canelo.
Yeah,
that's gonna kill Floyd right there.
That's a big fantasy talk right there. That's all fantasy, man.
Yeah. Well, guess what? He ain't got to be Canelo and come 3 times. He can get 3 times undisputed at 154. He'll still kill Floyd.
Yeah,
Canelo too much
that's
of a
if he ain't
coward.
going through the the
Right.
politics, man. They don't blackball him and shit, man.
Yeah,
They
Like
gonna
it'll
play.
be good. It'll be good if Bud would have been able to get this fight and fight for the WBC and the WBO all in one drop. Then that's half of the chase over right there. He only
Right.
has two more
right.
left, you know.
And
Right.
they knew.
The
They knew.
other two brothers over at
Look,
Metro.
they knew when that's why Floyd now put Charlo in there with Canelo, because soon as the fight start, Canelo not undisputed no more. So that already stopped.
No, no, no.
That
Charlo.
stopped Bud
Charlo.
from getting undisputed in 154 in the next fight. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? For sure.
Charlo not undisputed. And everybody kept telling me, and I was telling them from the beginning, Charlo been ducking Tim Zoo for the longest.
Yeah, he was already ducking Zoo.
Yeah, but they try to use that as an excuse. Oh, I'll take the Canelo fight. Nah, you ducking. You holler about your wrist broke. You couldn't do this. You weren't supposed to fight until the next year. As soon as that Canelo fight, soon that Canelo fight came up, you took that. That's why the WBO skipped it.
He said, I don't know what them niggas talking about. I'm fighting Canelo next.
Man,
If I had a channel, bro, I'll be putting all that in my intro, man. That shit would be.
man, listen. Jay Hard.
I don't know what's the
Who? Look at Jay Hard had him so shook up sitting next to him. I think so, man.
Them niggas
I'm
can't
I'm 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 undisputed champion 154.
I already
Hey.
did that.
Hey, James Harden's face should be like to commemorate July 29th. They should just put James Harden's face up there for that.
Right, everybody gonna know what it is too. Right? What
That was the
happening?
biggest cap we ever heard, man. I already did that shit, man. I'm fighting Canelo, man. Get out of here.
That
Look,
motherfucker
he
looked
said,
at James like he wanted to fight
it
James.
was like, what was Bud said to you? He was like, oh, he just said some foul words. He was going
Oh,
in on your head.
I want somebody to find. I saw that clip one time, and the face. I want somebody to find that face because he's sitting there with red on.
Yeah, I be watching that all the time, bro.
No. I want somebody to find that clip like Kenny Porter, Bud Stomp.
Dressed like Eddie Murphy and Raw.
When Bud stopped Earl, Kenneth Porter had a look on his face out of this world. I think he was sitting there near Eminem when that shit happened. And that nigga, that face had so good. He was like, this motherfucker done did that shit again. Like he was
Yo, everybody had their mouth open. All the people that went for Earl, everybody's mouth was open. Everybody's mouth.
The two faces,
for real?
the two faces that Fundora trainer made when Fundora said, "I want to fight
that shit was funny as hell.
He was looking like, what? He made that face twice, scared as hell. Like, what did you just say?
I think Fundora really want to be great. You know, I think
Yeah,
he really
too.
want to fight that.
Yeah,
I think his
Fundora really
trainer
wants
was
to
on some
fight.
other shit.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Fundora meant that, but his trainer was
Yeah.
like, he turned around quick, like, what? Don't say that. He was looking scared as hell.
Slow your roll. He said, slow your roll. Take this
Y'all
one
seen
belt
he got
right
hit in
now.
the head too many times tonight. He don't really know what he's saying.
He knew that. Samson, they all know.
Quick.
They want him to hold on to their belts, but they all know you fight Crawford next. That's it. You ain't no champion no more. They know that. But Fundora, I think he wants to fight, but they ain't gonna let him take it.
Yeah. No, they're not.
That would be a hell of a challenge for Bud, though.
Here we go. Excuse me. Here we gonna stop that shit. Y'all better look at it. You fight that motherfucker again. You go fight Crawford. Your ass gonna be on a shelf. You ain't get no more fight.
And remember, Smith fans was talking about Bud. They don't want Fundora to win because Bud don't want to fight him. He gonna move like now that he the winner. Now they doing something else. They said they trying to get Fundora away from him. It's just like I don't know why niggas hate on Bud so much. Like that nigga great. Why would y'all go?
When you as good as you are, and you're just a threat.
Not even good as you are when you a threat to their whole narrative.
Right, their whole narrative. You feel what I'm saying? And this man right here coming in, he can whoop every fighter we got.
He ain't had a close fight in his whole career. That's crazy. No rematches, none of that.
Not one debate.
He didn't whoop. Well, he did whoop Spence July 29th, but he didn't whoop Spence July 29th. He whooped the fan base.
Yeah. He destroyed.
He beat Spence and whooped the fan base.
Right.
Yep.
But like I said, like I said before,
he beat Spence, whooped the fan base, and made PBC fucking find a whole new home.
When Bud was walking back to the dressing room, Bud said, "I finally got the weight off my shoulder." But he kept all that shit that they said about the disrespect it did to the team.
Bro, that's the most memorable. That's probably going to be the most memorable undisputed match in history.
But what
did you
really
see
got
Bud before the fight though when he was sitting?
Listen, what really got
sitting down before the fight?
What really got fucked up with Derek James saying the stupid that shit out of his mouth. Tell Mama Crawford to leave her shoes home. Ain't no dancing tonight. Well, you don't lost your goddamn mind. That man was
How you find that out at? What you do? You did something to the audio or something? You understood what Diddy James said?
Yeah, no, he said that before the fight. He said that.
Did you have the closed caption activated?
No, that was on Showtime. The Showtime little
press conference. He said at the press conference. He said tell Mama. He said tell Mama. Leave her there.
But from the intro to coming out with Eminem to the outfit he had on with the fish in that, everything, like it ain't no to the whooping that he put on Spence, talking to Charlo, like that's like one of the best fights in history, especially undisputed. It's no more epic undisputed night than that in my eyes that I've seen. Even rewatching other undisputed matches, that whole night was just great, and it's never gonna be forgotten.
The best part was the end when Bomac was in the hallway. That was the best part.
Yeah,
man.
But
he shouldn't have signed the contract.
We're talking to Sean T. We're talking to Sean about partner Sean T. He was there. Sean T said he was at the fight.
Adrian Broner after the fight, his face, he didn't want to talk. He was mad.
He said nobody knew. He said,
yeah, you see how they was looking at AB when he came into the dressing room.
Oh man, AB was looking stupid.
I ain't never seen AB that quiet.
At least he was man enough to go and give him his credit though. At least he went in there and gave him his credit though.
But I'm talking about when he was in the hallway and the reporters was talking to him. He just had a mean mug. He didn't even answer. He was just mad as hell.
See, because he had him bet all that money on Earl. He bet all that money on Earl. He just got to be left some money from damn Don Kane.
Look, Yellow Beezy tried to fight a reporter for asking them questions. Like, they was mad, bro.
Yeah, talking about get the phone out my face. But before that, in the lobby, they was talking cash
she was
money
that nigga
shit.
good. Well, I think she could. She was calling nigga for about 50 bands.
That's what I'm saying. The whole night was just like epic, man. That night is just, I'm telling you, man. It'll never.
Vegas made a whole lot of money that night.
Yeah,
man. There's a lot of jokers.
It was definitely a great night for us Bud fans. I know that.
If Vegas got this man here, favorite, the beat your goddamn, he's supposed to be the top. Well, Vegas knew what the fuck gonna happen. Not only that, all them stupid ass Earl sexuals, they fell into the hype.
Even watching a live stream like Fanon, Boxing Eagle, all these different people watching it live. Go back and watch them watching the fight live. That's even epic. That shit funny as hell, man. It's funny as hell.
But hey Golden, you know why they like that for Earl and people like Tank, because they just trying to piggyback off of Floyd. Since Floyd is gone and he left undefeated, they just looking for the next dude that they could hold on to that's undefeated. That's it.
You know what I think it is? I think it's the fans, because the fans is the reason that they doing that to get the fan base, to get views, to get people coming to their channel.
Right.
That's what I think they know certain things is gonna happen. So they can go with a fake narrative just to get fans, you know?
Man,
and they want bragging rights because they want to stay undefeated too.
I really believe it was the first time State, let's call it nigga State then, fuck it. First time that nigga step up to fight some real competition, he gonna lose.
Yeah, Haney or Shakur gonna do it. That's I don't think he ever gonna fight them. Even
he's not gonna fight them.
Even if he fight, I think it'd be hard for Tank to beat Isaac Cruz at 140. That's not gonna be no easy fight for him at 140.
Why you say that?
I'm glad you brought up Isaac Cruz because everybody Tank is too Oh, he too small for 140. He too small. Hey, Cruz is smaller than him.
Right, because
Yeah.
look
What he just did.
That's why I can't understand how you gonna have a problem with him at
World
140.
Combat.
Like,
Look, when Tank fought Isaac Cruz, even when he hurt his hand, I understand he hurt his hand, but Isaac Cruz was giving him work in that fight. If you go, how many
yeah, he
times you watched
was.
it?
I'm not denying that he was giving them work, but the second time around, Tank's IQ, man. I'm just looking at him as a boxer. His IQ, he's gonna be able to make adjustments to the next fight.
Yeah, he can make
Look, check
adjustments.
this out. Check this out, Jay. Hey, at the end of the day, who fights the same all the time?
Cruz.
Isaac Cruz.
Yeah.
But look, I'm saying that 140 though, it's 135 and 140 is two different things. You know what I'm saying? Those 5 pounds make a difference, which is why Tank never wanted to go back to 140. So I just think Tank fighting Ryan, Haney, or Isaac Cruz is going to be different at 140, which is why I think he don't want to even test going up there against them, because he's seen with Mario Barrios, he kind of struggled until he knocked him out in like the 11th round. But Ryan is the same size, like geometric, like reach and height as Barrios, but he a better fighter. So
no, Barrios is weight wise, Barrios is a little bigger.
But they got the same reach. They both 5'10". They got the same reach. So Tank fighting Ryan without those clauses at 140, it's gonna be a different fight, which he still might beat Ryan. But I think Tank, I give it like 60, 55, 45 Tank versus Cruz.
Now, I'm just saying the reason why I have a question about that, because look at who he fought. He looked bad at 35 against Giovanni.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Isak fight the same way all the time, but we're talking about Rolando Romero, man.
Yeah, but
he was just using his right hand the entire fight, bro.
But you see, Tank, like sometimes, like I just think Cruz got more confidence now. It's not gonna be Tank. I don't think Tank gonna knock him out. Tank will
outbox him, but I don't think he can knock him out, because even before he hurt his hand, he couldn't hurt Cruz.
Yeah, I want to see that fight at
Cruz
140.
has solid defense. I give him that. He's short, compact, and he know how to properly use his defense.
And that's the thing right there. That's the thing right there. Tank ain't used to fighting somebody shorter than him.
Right. So that's Tank he gonna eventually go out at 135, and at 140 he gonna have some problems. He a great fighter. I'll give him that, but he haven't proved a lot yet. By him not proving it, by him not taking those fights at 135, when he finally have to step up, it might be too late. He might get caught up in a loss.
Is this Frank Martin fight?
Hold up. I got somebody else on the panel. What's going on, man?
I can't call it like an alcoholic. I might spoil it. This is the Unbiased Bremen. I want to give you a public service announcement. I'm going to make sure I do this on the daily, that Errol Spence is a fraud. I want y'all all to know that. And if you don't know, please tell of your nearest friend. Stand on top of the highest mountain and let everybody know that Errol Spence is a fraud.
Is that Steve Bradley?
What's good, Brim? Yeah, about that in my shondo.
It's agreed, man. We definitely all agree with you.
I know. I just had to let that be known. Anywhere I pull up when we talk boxing, I have to let that be known before I say anything else. So I see the topic of conversation, I guess, is about, Pitbull Cruz, and I know people are jumping out the window. Pitbull can beat this, but are we forgetting that he just beat a D- fighter in Rolly Romero? We got to put it in perspective here.
I was.
That's all I'm trying to say.
I was giving him credit, but I'm just saying, not even just Cruz. I'm just saying Tank at 140 is gonna have problems with fighters. Not at 130. Like Tank and Ryan is different at 140 than it was at 135 with the rehydration clause and all that extra stuff. Tank and Devin is different at 140. Devin is a better fighter at 140 than 135. He's stronger. He's not all weight drained or none of that. And Cruz is looking better at 140. He's looking stronger too. So I just think when Tank have to come up there, it's going to be different for him. But somebody was asking me something about Martin before Bram came on.
Only reason why
Frank Martin, is that actually official?
Yeah, it's June 15th. It's June 15th.
Listen, only reason why Rolly lost the other night, he got to take a special medication before the fight.
He
Nah,
can't.
he
He
lost
can't.
because he ain't got no
Enough
defense.
He ain't got no defense, and he don't have the boxing skills. You gotta have boxing skills to beat Cruz. You know he coming straight up like Tank. He do got them skills. That's why I'm not just saying Cruz can beat him, but you gotta have skills to stay back and not get rushed by him.
If Cruz had more power, he'd be just dangerous as fuck,
brother.
If he had a jab, if he could box better, he'd be better. But he a good fighter though. I like him.
Cause I don't think at 140, I don't think Rolly has the power at 140. 135, yeah, because his power was affecting Tank. Tank even admitted that, but at 140, I don't think he got the power to mess with anybody.
Right, Cruz.
That nigga got the brain cells.
Cruz.
We know that, but we ain't got to talk about that.
Hey, how y'all rank the 140-pound champions, man? How do y'all rank them now? 1 through 4. How y'all rank them?
Devin number 1.
Okay. Devin number 1. What else?
Who's Devin 1, TO 2.
All right.
Man, I don't even know
we got 3 and 4 now. Come on now.
Shakur?
Shakur at 135.
No, who's saying Shakur? Shakur is not a champion at 135,
bro. He ain't even champion.
Oh man.
I
guess
so we got Devin Haney, we got T.O. Who's number 3?
Then I'm gonna say Cruz, then Matias. I think Cruz beat.
Come on.
Nah, I'm gonna say
that's where we got an argument. It ain't no way in hell, man. He beat Rolly and you put him in front of Matias?
Cause look, this is how I see it, World Combat. Matias got power. He a good fighter, but he get hit. He don't have that.
So does Cruz, bro.
Okay, but look,
so does Cruz.
I think Cruz definitely got a better chance. He could take more punches than the Matias can. I think he already. He not as sturdy as Cruz. So that's what I think. Them going at it like that, I think Cruz will win that fight because I think it's harder to knock out Cruz than it is to knock out Matias.
Man,
so,
if you are afraid of standing and waiting to counter Cruz's right hand, how can Cruz get away and get complimented off doing the same thing over and over again? He throws the right hand all the freaking time, man.
And Matias too. He ain't no good boxer. He ain't that good.
I mean, Matias puts his combinations together though. He just don't throw the same punch over and over again.
Yeah. To me, it don't matter.
Both Cruz and Matias, they both do the high guard a lot, and they'll walk into their opponent to break them down. But when it comes to actually, punch selection, Isaac Cruz, he continued to throw the right hand all the time. So how you gonna go back in there and be the
I gotta go. So Sabril would be number 3, Cruz number 2. But I done seen
Cruz number 2.
I done seen after that fight on some people's rankings, they got Cruz at 1 as the top champion at 140. Like,
they got Cruz at number 1 because they feel like Devin haven't been on the canvas, but they keep on talking about how chinny he is. He hasn't even been on the canvas yet, man.
Right, and that Cruz, he when you standing there, but Devin not fit. Devin gonna pop back up. Like when they don't understand boxing, they looking at power, thinking he gonna fight like Rolly. Devin is levels above Rolly.
Man,
so
Devin will make Cruz look stupid.
Right, he gonna hit him hella times in the face, man, and be gone before you get that little 1-2.
Cruz coming up there, high guard, throwing that right hand. Yeah, he was able to do that with Rolly. Look at Rolly with that robotic type combinations he was throwing. You weren't gonna beat no Cruz with that.
He might be. He might be T.O. though. You know what?
His back foot.
Cruz might be
T.O.
T.O.
will fuck Cruz up, man. Stop playing.
T.O. can't have that. T.O.
Look,
T.O. got punching power, dog.
I don't. Yeah, but Cruz, like, I don't see that many people knocking Cruz out, bro. Like Tank couldn't even hurt him. You know what I'm saying? He hit him, but he wasn't really hurting him like that before his hand was hurt in the 3rd round. But dude, he got a big ass head. He obviously got a chance. So I don't think just trying to knock him. I don't think knocking him out is how you gonna beat him. And that's what
I ain't gonna lie. I like Cruz as a fighter, man. I think I call him the debt collector, man. He just straight.
He looked like a pit bull,
and he ain't being denied. I like him as a fighter, but he's one dimensional, man.
Yeah, he is.
But here's the difference between T.O. and Tank. When Tank got hit by Rolly. He started using his boxing knowledge and setting Rolly up.
Started fading.
Tio, when he gets hit, he trying to get that lick back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not gonna work against.
He got
Cruz.
that Pacquiao syndrome.
Because when Bud do that,
more than likely he does get his licks back. So can Cruz stand up to Cruz stand up to his power?
Yeah,
right.
If Tio fights Cruz the way he fought Ortiz, well, he definitely won't, because Cruz is not going to give him that same look that Ortiz gave him. Cruz is going to come straight forward. So Tio's going to have to basically bite down and really fight on the inside. And we all seen Tio can be dropped now.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying. I can't just put Tio over Cruz like that, because I don't see Tio, if they going at it like that. I think Pitbull gonna come out on top. To beat Cruz, you're gonna have to be able to box, like Tank box, like Shakur can box, like Devin can box. That Matias
you turn Cruz
style.
Hey, let's not for Tio. He might not box like them, but Tio can box.
He's slick. Yeah, he's slick.
He can box. And he's gonna box Cruz.
Tio's problem is he plays sometimes.
He's gonna box Cruz, man. He's gonna be on the outside when he need to, and then when he on the inside, he's gonna make him pay. But
Tio just picked the dude Cleggett. Cleggett got a fight coming up before he fight Tio. So why did he choose him over Marate? What's that dude name? I think Marate.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he passed him up to fight Cleggett when Cleggett got a fight already. You know what I'm saying?
I thought that was Shakur Stevenson who's fighting Cleggett.
Nah, that's Tio.
That's Tio.
Who is Shakur Stevenson fighting next?
Shakur fighting the guy that Frank Martin fought last. But Top Rank didn't offer. Shakur wanted to fight. What's the dude name we were just talking about? Which name start with an M? Marate, whatever his name is. So
okay, I'm about to look it up right now.
Shakur wanted to fight him, but Top Rank, they offered it to Tio, but they didn't offer it to Shakur because he didn't sign with them. So they threw him some BS fights. They don't want him to have a big fight.
I think Shakur. I think Tio is fighting the guy that you're talking about.
Nah, he fighting Cleggett.
No, I thought it was the fighter from Golden Boy didn't want to fight Shakur.
He didn't either. He didn't want to fight Shakur. Zapata. He didn't want to fight Shakur. So they were supposed to get him the other guy, the Marate guy. They didn't offer him that fight because he ain't re-signing with Top Rank. So they said they're not putting him in the offer. So he had to take what he can get.
But he's going to be signing anyway, because who's going to sign Shakur right now? His value is diminished to some degree, even though I think he's extremely talented. His value is diminished to some degree. I talked to people who was at the fight, and some of them said they won't pay for another Shakur fight again in their life.
I'm just saying what happened with the fight right now. So that's why he wasn't offered that fight. But Tio passed up that fight to fight somebody, a bum who got a fight before he fight Tio. Like, you don't even know if he's going to win his next fight, but you signed up to fight him. That's Tio a coward, bro. So I question his heart.
The fight that he got coming up is supposed to be tailor-made for him to win.
Exactly.
Tio is fighting Steve Claggett, man.
That's what I'm saying. He fighting Claggett, but Claggett got a fight before Tio. He fighting somebody else, then he fighting Tio.
He fighting next week.
Exactly. He fighting next week.
Tio's fighting Claggett that's 13th, 14th in the rankings. What the fuck?
And look, and he might lose his next fight anyway. He got a fight before Tio. So that's why I'm like, why would he even be fighting him? So Tio
you know why they fighting him, because he had a difficult outing against Jermaine Ortiz. They want to give him a little bit of softer touch to get him back in the groove, man. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all have a good night, man. I'm gonna head out of here, man.
All right,
have a good night, fellas.
Easy, bro.
All right, peace, bro.
All right, bro. Yes, sir.
Peace.
So, because Matias ain't trying to fight Tio, so Devin, I think he ain't trying to fight Devin either. But
Devin called Matias and Tio out after this fight with Ryan. So it's on them. Tio already said he never gonna fight Devin, Shakur, or Tank. He literally said that. So
I thought that 140-pound division, they say it's super hot, but right now with Cruz in there, now we're gonna see if these champions gonna fight each other though, because we just had Josh Taylor for undisputed. Let's see if these dudes are willing to unify for undisputed, man. It's a nice little bunch of champions up there now, man. It's a nice group up there now, competitive too.
and
I think we might get after this Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight. I think we might get the winner of that versus Cruz, because
I don't think so. I think
if Devin
No,
wins, that might be it, because TL will fight him.
nah, it's gonna be Matias because Devin already called him out, and they both mess with the zone and Eddie Hearn. So I think that fight is closer than the Cruz fight. They on PVC. So and Devin already said he want to fight him next anyway. He want to be undisputed. So I think that's actually gonna happen next. I think Matias will take that fight, and I know Devin will. That's just my opinion, though. I think that's gonna happen next day.
man, Tank gonna rematch Pitbull Cruz. Then get to the 140 game. Devin will probably end up fighting Matias before anybody else would. But you got to remember, Devin might be with the zone, but Devin got a lot of versatility. He can pretty much go anywhere. Know.
But he said he won't T.O. or Matias next. That's what he said.
Yeah, we'll see if T.O. got the nuts. He's got a lot of mouth, but I don't know if he got the nuts.
Yeah, it ain't T.O. I'm telling y'all, y'all heard what T.O. said. He not fighting Devin, Shakur, or Tank because he got to fight.
You can add Keyshawn Davis to that list too.
Keyshawn Davis too. He said he walking away from those fights because he got to fight against them, the refs, the judges, the crowd. It's too many fights for him. So I don't even count
Keyshawn
him.
at 140.
He would have fought T.O. at 140. He said.
Yeah, he was willing to move up to 140 to fight T.O.
I was just about to say, yeah, Keyshawn got work to do at 35. He's gonna do well there at 35, so he need to stay there.
Yeah, but he was willing to fight in Honduras and in June 15th.
But that's just a little personal beef between the two. That's why he wanted to fight him at 140.
Yeah, but T.O. a coward, man. I can't look at it no other way. He a coward. Everything he say and how he move is cowardly. When
don't let him hear it. He gonna put that Florida on you. I'm a rich coward.
He ain't even getting money like that though. Like
he get money though. He get money now.
He get money now.
T.O. is doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and just like I mentioned on my live, man, he was throwing up all those freaking secret signs, and stuff. I'm telling you, man, T.O.'s done crossed over, bro. Look, whenever you see these boxers break down and cry like that, that's because they thinking about what it took for them to what they just did. For real. He got sponsors and shit. This nigga done crossed over. He was up there getting them secret signs. I know because I'm a Masonic. Look, I'm a Masonic, right? I'm a 32nd degree Masonic. I know from being with a fraternity like the Masons, when it's not comparable to that, but I'm just saying when he's throwing up those signs like that, it seems like to me T.O.'s crossed over to the other side, and he had these breakdowns. Why would you have a breakdown? What was the purpose of that? Why would you start crying like that if you were so confident that you won? Because they blessed you with that. They blessed him with it. He know what happened. T.O.'s getting money. He got sponsorship, man. He's doing what he got to do.
I don't think he finna fight. He not fighting nobody good. I don't think he'll even fight Isaac Cruz.
Who you talking about, Pitbull? I mean, you talking about Tank?
T.O.
No, eventually T.O. will fight somebody. You got to remember, T.O. did fight Loma. T.O. did fight Josh Taylor. So I'm not going to say he won't fight nobody, but he's helter-skelter, bro. He's the definition of being consistently inconsistent. One good fight, one bad fight. One good fight, one bad fight, But before I go, I just want to say shout out to Samson Kapowitz for making aerospace go back to the back of the line, sucker. Right. I just want to say that.
You ain't lying, right?
Exactly.
That ain't that one of the most sucker interviews you ever heard in a while, man. That nigga was just straight up on some.
You talking about him getting in the ring?
No, he's talking about
when
Samson
he
on the
interviewed
boxing
with TBV, dog. Like the things
Oh
he
yeah, I
was
was there
saying
live. I
about,
talked to them right. I was like the last caller before he got on.
yeah, I
I
heard you.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, I
I don't
heard
know
you
if
over
it's
there.
sucker, but he said he used Spence on the ringside report. He said he used Spence to promote Fundora, and he said after he went to sleep and woke up, he said he realized that he need to give Tim that opportunity because Tim gave him his fighter the opportunity. And I think it's only honorable to do that. So I'm
But
like,
he
okay, I
said they had a
respect that.
verbal agreement though. He tried to put it off. They had a verbal agreement before the fight took place or something
Well,
like that.
the thing is that Tim and his team did say that. They said they had a verbal agreement.
He realized that WBO put that pressure on him. They taking that belt. Everybody
Now,
know what's going on.
that had no bearing to WBO because the thing is, regardless of what the WBO does, if he was planning on fighting Spence or Tim Tszyu, Bud wasn't going to be in the picture anyway. So what the WBO did was going to do was a moot point because they was going to strip him for the belt. And what I
Right.
hope happens, which I doubt, but I would hope Bud would not fight a Josh Kelly because I'm not interested. And somehow PBC offers him a 2-fight deal, but I don't anticipate that because they don't have an interest in being decent to Terrence Crawford. That he can be the fight Lubin for the WBO. They put a little money and elevate Lubin up one spot and get that fight where he can beat Lubin. I mean, but I don't know, man. It is what it is. I'm like Tyson. I don't know, man. Assalamu
I like
alaikum.
him getting that Josh
What?
Kelly fight for what? Look, when you got the big names that's ducking him, why not fight Josh Kelly? He's in the
Because
rankings,
Josh
man. He's
Kelly
high in the
lost to
rankings, man. It
Avanesian,
don't
bro.
make a
Come
difference.
on,
Oh,
It
yeah.
man.
don't make a difference, man. At this point in time, look at it this way, Brum. All the damn big names ducked him, so he's supposed to continue to run backwards. No, you run forward. What's ahead of you? Ranking systems. Okay, if you're gonna fight for the vacant and that's the dude, even though he lost to Avanesian, so what?
Right. Lubin
So
lost to
what?
Fundora, so
Yeah, Lubin
Yeah, but
lost to
at least
Fundora.
Lubin got a little more
Fundora lost to
visibility, though,
Mendoza.
man.
Fundora lost to Mendoza, who fought Tim Tszyu, and then look how it played back out. Fundora come back over there and fight Tim Tszyu.
yeah. But Bud
Yeah.
gonna smoke whoever it is though, so it don't really matter to me. But I hear what you're saying for sure.
I mean, we don't have no control over, the shakers and movers and how they implement this hocus pocus that they love putting on us, puppetizing the media. That's all they do, man.
And you know what bothers me so much? That people still got that audacity talking about, Spence is still a bigger star than Bud. Last time I checked, all of Bud's social media's got more followers than Spence. People keep on forgetting that July 29th happened and it was a viral moment, the entire world seen it. Yesterday is not today, bro. I can't believe people running with these bullcrap narratives, Bud bad business and all this crap. Man, stop it, man.
They
The
need
reason why I'm
something to
not a
hang on
Spence
to.
fan now is because of this crap. I knew when they was doing them negotiations and they offered zero guarantee, I said they up to the same bull crap. They had nothing on the calendar in the fourth quarter of 2022. I said, I smell fish, bro. I smell fish, and it ain't the big fish. It's bull crap. And I try to be fair. That's why I get attacked and I got called all time. By both sides, I got attacked. But at some point, the truth got to reign, bro. And I saw it. The only thing Spence did that was solid was make the fight, even though his camp wasn't trying to make the fight. Outside of that, he been acquiesced. He's been an employee, and he's been fugazi.
Facts. And even right before the fight, he started talking about why I got to do a coin flip and all that. So he only been solid about making a fight. Before and after the fight, he been fake because he made excuses. He ducked the rematch, talking about his ribs, talking about his eye. You tried to steal Crawford fight. Like, he a op, really. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah,
fake.
and you know why? And you know why I think that coin flip ended up getting put in? Because I think Bud found out the real numbers of Errol Spence's pay per view. Because you know what I noticed, how people been reporting that they lost money on Canelo versus Mel Charlo. But how you lose money if you did 700,000 pay per view and you only paid $5 million up front to Mel and 35 to Canelo? That's 40 million. If you did 700K, that's 85.5 million. And if you did $20 million gate, I'm sorry, 59.5 million. If you did a $20 million gate, that's 80 million. You paid $40 million out. You still got 40 million left. How you lose money? Them numbers ain't real, bro. Those numbers is fake.
They be lying for Tank too. Like, all the and Spence. That's why the whole narrative, he sell more than Crawford. Even saying he the biggest star now. Like, y'all, they just saying that to have another reason to try to put Crawford down, to try to act like Spence is the biggest star. It's no way a fight between Spence and anybody can be more than Crawford when Crawford destroyed him. So obviously a tougher fight is between Crawford and whoever it is. So how is that not the bigger fight? When Crawford go anywhere, it's all eyes on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, man.
But we in the era. We are definitely in the era of see blind individuals because you can show them something, man, and by the time it get to the fourth person, they got a different story. I mean, this social media shit is just crazy because people don't know what's real and what's fake. They watch something like that fight go down, and then they just get so easily persuaded to come back over here and act like they didn't see what they saw. You saw ass whooping, you saw beating. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like, Bud don't sell tickets. Like, have y'all looked at the crowd at his fights?
Hey, let me get Haynes on here right quick. What's going on with it, Haynes?
What's going on, man? Man, just starting this LLC, man. It's just been tough business, man. But I'm making my mark in this industry. But anyway, I just got off work literally an hour ago, and I winded down, and I seen you online, and I ain't talked to you in a minute, so can you give me a recap of what's going down? What y'all talking about?
I can only tell you what we talking about now. We was basically talking about the Fundora situation with him potentially vacating the WBO and Crawford having an opportunity to fight for the vacant, and who's gonna fight Fundora in upcoming months. But right now we were just going over the 140-pound division. We were just going over miscellaneous boxing topics. That's all. We've been on for a good 3 hours almost, you know what I'm saying? So we was talking about some miscellaneous boxing topics.
Oh, yeah, okay. Man, Fundora said he wanted to fight Crawford, man. And if his team pushes him away from that, they host for that, for real.
They already did.
Yeah, they already did.
What I'm saying is that's not the final end all to be all, because at the end of the day, the fighter fights who he wants to fight, according to boxing talk. But we all know the business of boxing is not going to let him get in the ring with Crawford. But I would love to see it.
It's looking like Tim Tszyu again in November.
And I think Tim Tszyu gonna win the rematch.
Oh yeah, no, he gonna knock him out.
Yeah, I believe so. So everybody, that's gonna change the dynamics of everything. I think he gonna lose that rematch.
No, it's gonna be he's gonna knock him out. That cut is the only reason why Fundora has the belts.
Yeah. And so if he come back in November, is that when they fight? I think it's gonna be after November too. So that's a long time from now. It ain't even really worth thinking about right now.
No. From what I heard is that's when that's the earliest. November is the earliest time he can have a match.
Yeah, that's 8 months away.
He's suspended for 8 weeks, so that's way before November. So he can have a fight in November. So that's what I'm looking forward. But what's Crawford gonna do in the meantime? He got and then if Crawford fights some nobody just to stay active, Crawford ain't do it. He should have fought Boots. He could have. Man, shut the fuck up.
Boots got Crawley problems.
Hey Haynes, if Crawford, he's been doing it the right way and they still got criticism.
Right.
So do it your way and still gonna get the same criticism, man.
Right. Crawford could beat Benavidez next and they gonna still put him down. Oh, Benavidez, he was weight drained and he was this, he was that. It's gonna be something. It don't even matter.
If you fight Josh Kelly, that's what it is, man. Josh Kelly, if it's for the vacant title, that's another division to his freaking cachet, man.
Yeah.
He gonna beat Josh Kelly from pillar to post. Come on, bro.
Man, if it's another Amir Khan, it has to be another Amir Khan, man.
Mm-hmm. I watched that today too. He was putting hands on Amir Khan.
And Big Dog, I'm having to watch your playbacks. I told you I've been working a lot, And man, I put I put the thumbs up on everything. So man, you've been going in hard on these niggas, man. You been going in hard on these niggas. Hot grease, nigga, fuck hot grease. Nigga, you throwing jet fuel on these niggas.
They deserve it, man. They deserve every word, man. Every droplet. Them bum ass aerosexuals belong. They need every droplet, bro.
Yeah, they worse than any fan base ever. Like
They
they
are,
worse
man.
than
Them motherfuckers just make
everybody.
excuses for every fucking thing, man. Lie with just no remorse, nothing, man.
Hey, y'all, I'm about to take this pain medication and hop off. About to go to sleep.
All
All right,
right, for
peace,
sure,
bro.
man. Take it easy.
All right,
Hey, Combat. I want you to start naming when you going in extra hard to just put jet fuel. Fuck high grease. I love high grease. That's the staple of your one of the staples of your whole channel. But I need you to throw some jet fuel. I gotta throw jet fuel on these niggas. That's hot. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh,
one thing I can handle hot grease. You know, you actually have hot grease in the kitchen. You can handle that shit. But jet fuel, you need a hazmat suit. You fucking around with jet fuel, you're gonna die for real.
Hazmat yourself.
I ain't trying to kill nobody. I'm trying to goddamn
nigga. What are you talking about? I done seen you kill 1 million niggas on here. What are you talking about?
I can neither confirm nor deny that has ever taken place.
Well, goddamn it, I got clips, I got receipts, goddamn it.
And it's like, look, Combat, they're not even talking about who Spence gonna fight since the Fundora off the table. They not even they disappearing again. Really, they disappearing right now.
Yeah, like they got to regroup, man. Who is Spence gonna fight next is the question. Is he gonna have a fight before Fundora comes back off suspension? I mean, come on, man. You got to fight somebody. You know, Crawford is there for your access. You got to do something. The fans want to know. You know, all this Spence talk, man. Let's go.
That doesn't even make sense. How you walk in the ring and say, I want to fight Fundora, but you didn't get your lick back?
Right, you don't want your get back. What's up with that, man? That's what I be saying.
He don't want his get back, and he don't care nothing about the money. You know, I mean, 50-50.
Right.
50-50, I'm going in here and fighting Fundora. Forget Bud.
He said that ass whooping ain't worth $25 million. That ain't even enough. That's crazy.
I'll go in there right now and take a check hook and fall down for $25 million right now.
Right, but would you do it again though? That's, you know what I'm saying. Bud must be hitting really hard because dude don't want no smoke.
Yeah, you know, I'll be able to do it again if I take a check left hook. Okay, I'm able to do it again, but I doubt I'll be able to get the opportunity to do it again. Because all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll up under the bottom rope and I'm gonna keep on walking back and I'm gonna wait for my check and I'm out.
Pull a Malik Scott, just fall down.
Hey, by the time they get a hold of me, man, once that check clear, I'm on vacation, man. Don't call me. I ain't on live. I ain't doing shit. I'm on vacation, man.
Because since the whole little November thing and he fighting Tim Tszyu next, the Spence fans disappeared again. They faded in the bushes like Homer Simpson.
Hey, you know what may happen though, right? We may get what we want, and Fundora really fight Crawford. And if that really happens, I'm not saying it's the most logical thing, but I'm saying that if it really does happen, the boxing gods have been good to us.
Yeah, that'd be a crazy fight, man. I'd like to see Crawford go in there and prove once again, you know, why he is the man the way he is. Because I truly see him breaking down Fundora, man. I do.
Yeah, I think just though, Fundora ain't gonna get the fight. He not. Tim Tszyu was gonna beat him in that fight. So in a rematch, that's gonna mess all that up. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to see Bud fight Fundora. That'd be nice to see him knock him out.
But what's all this big money talking about with Spence and not Crawford? Crawford's a way hotter name right now. I don't understand that.
They debunked that too on the show. Sam, remember, Combat, you heard Ness now. They told him in Nebraska, and look, Spence didn't even sell out 90,000 before. He sold out 30,000 3 times.
He was averaging 30,000+.
Exactly. So they told him that, and Bud can sell out in Nebraska, so they can sell the same amount. It ain't no he sell more. So that whole theory has been debunked right on the show, right in people's face. But that's part of the reason heterosexuals are delusional, because they ignore that happened on the show. You know what I'm saying? When they brought the actual numbers.
Y'all give it up for Ness and Danny, man. They definitely dropped some numbers. Danny dropped those 30,000 average, for Spence, while he was up here talking about he would sell out this and all that, man. Come on, that was a good retort right there.
And I don't really like Danny like that, but when it comes to numbers and statistics, Danny always have the numbers. He always look it up. He be on that type of stuff, and I'm glad he did that. Like, he cleared that right up.
Combat, I don't need you to react to nothing else, because you had me fucking dying at work, nigga. I almost wrecked the goddamn the courier I was doing. The motherfucker reacting to Danny and Ness. Nigga, you had me dying. He said
that shit was just mad weird, man. I'm like, when you listen to people say blatant shit like Samson was doing, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they cooked him on that show.
Oh yeah, they did cook him though. I'll give him that. They did come back with the heat.
He was ready to jump off too at the end. He was like, you know what? Let me get up out of here.
Danny told him, "Come on, Samson, you got to come better than that, man."
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Well, fellas, I'm about to get up out of here. It's been like 3 hours, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Hey, Haynes, man. Hey, hold it together, man. Whatever you got going with your LLC, man, stay in there, man. It'll get right.
Yeah, peace.
Man, no. It's right. It's just a lot of work right now. But expect something in your cash out, brother.
You know what it is, man. I thank you for your support all the time, man. It's all good. Appreciate you.
Be blessed, man. And stay humble like you are, bro.
All right, Jay, man. Hold it down. I'll see you again. You'll chop it up. Salute.
For sure. Peace, y'all. And Jessica, I see you. I'll at you.
Hey, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. You already know. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. We did a 3-hour, telecast today. I think telecast seems better than streams. I'm gonna start using telecast. I did a 3-hour telecast today. You know what I'm saying? The fellas pulled up. You know what I'm saying? The queens pulled up. Appreciate y'all. Stay tuned. Continue to support, because when the content is coming out, there is other topics to talk about. I have no problem talking about them, but this is the hottest topic. People want to know what's going to happen this month. Is the WBO going to be stripped? Is the WBC is going to be fought by, somebody that we might know, like a EJ, Fundora, whatever. But primarily we concerned about, the WBO. That's it. So we'll figure it out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Till next time, y'all enjoy y'all Wednesday. And